Chapter 256. Charge. On the city wall, following the master commandant's shout, Fong Ping and the others began to condense their vitality, imbuing the crossbow with vitality force. After waiting for a moment, the master commandant roared. The blood-colored crossbow shot out instantly, piercing through an officer in full armor. Huff! The people around Fong Ping panted heavily. The master commandant shook his head. Not a middle-ranked. At this moment, the enemy was already at the city wall. Everyone imbued their vitality dozens of times, but they only managed to kill one powerhouse who was hovering in the air. The East Sunflower Army was prepared. The powerhouses hovered in the air, carrying their giant shields. After many rounds of shooting, they did not kill many people. Fong Ping frowned. A middle-ranked martial artist was fighting the enemy powerhouse who had jumped over the wall just a few meters in front of him. Fong Ping looked at the master commandant, eager to make a move. The master commandant shook his head. Our mission is to be in charge of the bed crossbows. But do you still have vitality? The master commandant smiled bitterly. It was not that he did not want to help, but most of the people who had jumped over the wall were middle-ranked martial artists. Their vitality had been depleted. If they went up now, they would only add to the chaos and die. Fong Ping nodded seriously. Yes. Also, I've killed many middle-ranked martial artists. I can kill them. Everyone looked at him. Fong Ping took a deep breath. I won't disturb you if I kill the enemy now, will I? Little brother. The middle-aged martial artist who lit the cigarette earlier frowned slightly. Don't go to your death. Even if you die, make it worthwhile. It's true. I'm Fong Ping. Do you know Fong Ping? I've killed a rank 5 genius. Fong Ping grinned. He mumbled to himself, I'm afraid of death, but when I see the martial artists in front of me risking their lives and splattering their blood on the wall, I don't think I have the right to be afraid of death. Fong Ping, only then did everyone know his name. The master commandant's eyes lit up. MCMU's Fong Ping? That's me. Fong Ping smiled. Then I'll go. He said so much because he had to obey military orders during wartime. If the master commandant did not say anything, he would be going against military orders if he left. The master commandant did not hesitate. He said immediately, You go. Our vitality has recovered. We'll go help you immediately. All right. Fong Ping moved his feet. In the next moment, he appeared in front of an upper stage rank 3 martial artist who had just jumped onto the city wall. With a roar, a blood-red glow flashed on his saber, and he cleaved his opponent in half. Among the people behind him, the middle-aged cultivator panted and laughed. Damn it, genius cultivators are indeed different. We are still old. However, when my chi and blood recover a little, I will also kill them with one saber strike. Shut up. You can kill a rank 1 with one slash. The few of them, who had exhausted most of their vitality, chatted cheerfully, not minding the battle that was taking place right in front of them. Looking out at the city, the master commandant sighed softly. The East Sunflower Army's morale is high. It's going to be tough this time. What's there to be afraid of? Just kill them? I'm scared? I'm not afraid. I'm just worried about Hope City. The commandant shook his head. What am I afraid of? In his heart, however, he was puzzled. Why hadn't the general started deploying his troops? North Gate. Su Mafu did not say a word. He kept staring in the northwest direction. There, waves of extremely powerful energy were overflowing. Definitely, he muttered in his heart. Beside him, another powerhouse was also staring in the northwest direction, murmuring, When will the seniors return? Return, Su Mafu murmured. He stared at the northwest direction for a long time before saying slowly, They will return northwest. The Grandmasters were fighting the Skygate city powerhouses alone. The old vice-chancellor was panting violently. His body was covered in blood. More than 10 meters away, A Skygate City powerhouse was floating in the air with a cold expression, looking down at the old man in front of him, who he had almost killed many years ago. Percent hashtag yen asterisk. No one knew if the old vice-chancellor understood. He panted and laughed. You're saying that I'm not as good as you, that I was almost killed by you back then? Little bastard, if you didn't gang up on me back then, do you think you'd be my match? The old vice-chancellor swore, panting, wait a little longer. Don't worry, don't run this time. The Skygate City powerhouse, who was floating in the air, did not say another word. In a flash, he appeared above the old man's head. The next moment, a ferocious tiger monster materialized in the air, opening its mouth to bite the old vice-chancellor. I've been waiting for you. The old vice-chancellor's eyes were bright, and his body suddenly emitted a rich blood-red glow. Above his head, a blood-red blade appeared instantly. The blood-red blade seemed to be absorbing energy. The old vice-chancellor's already damaged golden body suddenly collapsed, and waves of rich energy particles were absorbed by the blood-red blade. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. The Skygate City powerhouse's expression changed drastically, and he shouted angrily, "What golden body? Killing you is good stuff." The old vice-chancellor laughed loudly. Then, the blood-red blade instantly pierced through the air, slicing the ferocious tiger in half. The next moment, the blood-red blade slashed down from above the Skygate City powerhouse's head. His opponent's spirit had left his body, and his golden body could be destroyed. The blood-red blade condensed all of the old vice-chancellor's essence, spirit, including the imperishable substance. At that moment, its speed was so fast that it could not be seen by the naked eye. Roar! The Skygate City powerhouse roared like a wild beast, raising his fist and punching the blood-red blade. Boom! A deafening explosion reverberated between heaven and earth. Go to hell! The illusory golden body of the old vice-chancellor also roared, and the blood-red blade instantly exploded. Rumble! An explosion 10 times stronger than before rang out. The land within a radius of thousands of meters instantly disappeared, turning into nothingness. A large black crater formed in the ground. I really want to go back and take a look. A murmur rang out in the air. No one could be seen in midair. On the other side, the gaunt old man chuckled. He left faster than me. Little fellow, you're really anxious. The Skygate City powerhouse opposite him sensed that his Tiger Army's commander's spirit had been obliterated. His expression changed instantly, and he turned to flee. Why are you running? The gaunt old man laughed loudly. The next moment, just like the old vice-chancellor, his physical body began to collapse, and all the energy was absorbed by the blood-red blade above his head. In an instant, the blood-red blade split a giant golden beast in the air. The blood-red blade instantly descended on the other party's head, and without any hesitation, an intense blood-red light erupted the next moment. If you don't die from this, consider yourself lucky. The gaunt old man's body continued to collapse. When the deafening sound rang out, the entire world fell silent. A few seconds later, a subtle spiritual wave shook the air. I'll be leaving first. Ooh, ha ha. Obai died just like that. He didn't live as long as I did. At the same time, on the other side, an old man laughed out loud. He laughed as if there was no one else around, and he was extremely happy. I thought that a rank 8 could live longer than me. Now it seems that there's no hope for him to surpass me. As for the little fellow from MCMAU, he lived for 80 years. How weak. I'm coming too. The old man laughed maniacally. His mentality condensed into a blood-red blade as well, but it was no longer to obliterate the other party's body. Instead, it swiftly slashed a giant beast in the air. Mother asterisk cur. A rank 7 is weak. I don't have a golden body to explode. The old man roared. Suddenly, he hammered his body violently. His internal organs vaporized instantly, turning into streams of pure energy that shot into the blood-red blade. The blood-red color on the blood-red blade intensified. The old man laughed again, but no more sounds came out. The blood-red blade exploded instantly, blasting the giant beast into nothingness. Boom! A series of deafening sounds came from the northwest. Fong Ping and the East Sunflower City martial artists who were fighting were stunned for a moment. The strong energy waves that they could sense earlier were disappearing one by one. As if they knew something, the East Sunflower City martial artists' expressions changed drastically. Fong Ping's expression changed too. The energy waves had disappeared. What did this mean? Even if he was not a grandmaster, he knew that if the other party had not suddenly restrained all his energy, he would have died in battle. However, in a great battle, who would restrain their energy and wait for death? Vice-Chancellor Fong Ping gritted his teeth. He could not care less about these things. With a roar, his saber slashed continuously. 5 slashes were unleashed simultaneously. Boom! The rank 4 martial artist opposite him was instantly killed on the spot. Manic explosion had finally broken through to 5 consecutive slashes. However, Fong Ping was not overjoyed. The next moment, Su Mafu's voice came from the north gate. Get out of the city. Kill. Before this, the city still had a large number of active forces. At this moment, the city gate suddenly opened. A group of heavily armored cavalry charged at the front. Behind them, countless ordinary soldiers and military martial artists rushed out of the city gate and began to attack the besieging troops. In the catacombs, the commander-in-chief of Hope City was not a grandmaster. However, in the catacomb cities, a high rank was the commander-in-chief of the army. When some powerhouses sensed the disappearance of the energy waves, some of the generals of the Skygate Army and the East Sunflower City Army turned pale. Then they roared madly and shouted the evacuation signal, East Gate. When Su Mafu's voice came, Fong Ping jumped off the city wall and began to chase after the retreating East Sunflower City martial artists. Under the outburst of 5 consecutive slashes, even rank for martial artists could be killed with 1 slash. Among the pursuing crowd, Fong Ping vaguely saw Qin Fengqing. Qin Fengqing was bathed in blood, roaring in grief and anger. Fong Ping was not familiar with MCMU's old vice-chancellor. He had only seen him a few times. However, Qin Fengqing had seen him many times. Not only had he seen him before, when he sensed the disappearance of the powerful energy waves, Qin Fengqing instantly knew what had happened. Some of the grandmasters who had participated in the battle had died in battle. Kill. At the East Gate, the battle was not that intense. At the North Gate, the heavily armored cavalry charged and broke through the enemy lines, disrupting the Skygate Army's formation. At this moment, no high-ranked powerhouses returned to help. The middle-ranked powerhouses were also pinned down in the distance. A large number of ordinary soldiers and low-ranked martial artists were killed by the troops at the back. A large number of high-ranked powerhouses had died in battle. Clearly, it was beyond everyone's expectations. East Sunflower City and Skygate City kept retreating. A large number of middle-ranked martial artists had also returned to the camp and began to cover the army's retreat. In the distance, an even more intense energy wave was transmitted. It was so intense that everyone felt the pressure. Rank 9 powerhouses were fighting in a frenzy at Skygate City's side. Fong Ping could even clearly feel an extremely frenzied wave of anger. It was coming from the Skygate City Lord. Deafening noises could be heard continuously from the void. The human powerhouses were also fighting, blocking the enemy, not giving the other party a chance to return to help. The chase went on for more than an hour. Fong Ping could not remember how many people he had killed. There were ordinary people, martial artists of the 3 lower ranks and rank for martial artists. He had even encountered a rank 5 martial artist, but he was intercepted by his own rank 5 powerhouses. After chasing for 20 li outside the city, a powerhouse levitated in the air and roared, "Clean up the battlefield and return to the city quickly." The soldiers began to clean up the battlefield one after another, moving their comrades' corpses. The martial artists stood guard outside the perimeter. No one went to fight. Qin Fengqing, Fong Ping panted and found Qin Fengqing, whose chest was still bleeding profusely. Qin Fengqing said nothing. Just now, at this moment, Qin Fengqing turned his head to look at Fong Ping. His voice was hoarse. "You didn't leave?" "Yes." Fong Ping's expression changed. He asked again, "Just now, was it—" "I don't know," Qin Fengqing replied impatiently. Then he ignored Fong Ping. Fong Ping did not ask any more. After waiting for a while, the team began to retreat. The ground was full of the enemy's corpses. After chasing for more than an hour, they walked for more than 2 hours to return to the city. At this moment, the sky was already dark. At the city gate, it was bright. The huge energy lamp illuminated Hope City. Fong Ping and the other non-military department martial artists were ordered to go back and rest. The military department martial artists continued to stand guard. Fong Ping did not return to the dormitory. There was no one there now. He walked with Qin Fengqing, saying as he walked, "Take care of your injuries. You're so annoying." Qin Fengqing's face was pale. He roared impatiently. Fong Ping fell silent again. When they returned to Qin Fengqing's residence, a few students had returned. As for those who did not return, it meant that they could not return. Everyone looked at each other. No one said anything. They found a place to sit down and catch their breath. It was exceptionally quiet. North City Gate. Square-faced guardian Wu fell from the sky and staggered. Su Mafu, who had been standing still, suddenly came to his senses. He asked hurriedly, "Guardian Wu, where are Old Bai and the others?" Square-faced shook his head slightly. Then he said in a low voice, "Go do what you need to do. Even if East Sunflower City retreated, Skygate City will not let it go. We killed 7 of them in this battle and lost half of their high ranks. Skygate City will not let this go." Su Mafu gritted his teeth. "Then we'll destroy them completely. No, I can feel it. There are powerhouses in the other 11 cities demonstrating their might." "Bastard!" Su Mafu cursed. Square-faced ignored him. He turned to look at the others on the city wall. After a while, he said, "You will get what you ask for. In this life of the instructors, their greatest regret is not being able to pacify the catacombs. Everyone, let's work together." Lu Fengru suddenly sneered. She turned and walked away. Her sobbing voice was heard. "It's good that the old man is dead. When he's alive, he only knows how to persuade me to look on the bright side. When he's dead, he can't even look on the bright side. What right does he have to persuade me? He died in the catacombs without a corpse left. What kind of *T golden body powerhouse is he? So what if he's a rank 8? So what if he's a rank 9? He's still dead." Her voice gradually faded away. Everyone was silent. "Pack up. We're going back." In the middle of the night, Tang Feng's face was as white as snow. He stepped into the house and saw Fong Ping, but he did not say anything. Qin Fengqing jumped up suddenly. He gritted his teeth and said, "Vice-Chancellor is dead?" "Yes." "Bastard." Qin Fengqing punched the wall and roared, "Why did the Vice-Chancellor and the others have to risk their lives? Are all the rank 9 martial artists dead?" "Shut up. I'm not convinced." "What about more than 30 rank 9 martial artists? They're all dead." Qin Fengqing roared. The Vice-Chancellor was already heavily injured. Why did he have to fight? Tang Feng's expression was ice cold. He said coldly, "If you talk nonsense again, I'll kill you." Qin Fengqing glared at him hatefully. Suddenly, Tears streamed down his face. He lowered his head and said nothing. Everyone fell silent. After a while, Tang Feng said softly, "Pack up, we're going back." "I'll say it one more time. Pack up, we're going back." Seeing that everyone was not moving, Tang Feng roared angrily and kicked the bed in front of him into pieces. Among the crowd, some people started to get up and pack up. Fong Ping had brought some clothes with him when he came to the catacombs. He threw them aside and was not in the mood to pack up. After everyone had packed up, Tang Feng led everyone out. Qin Fengqing followed quietly. When they reached the passageway entrance, Tang Feng suddenly said, "Go back and cultivate well. You're not allowed to enter the catacombs for the next few months." Fong Ping turned his head to look at him. He asked, "What about you guys?" "It's none of your business," Tang Feng chided. He frowned and said, "Go in." Chapter 257. The moment he walked out of the energy channel, many people in the team choked silently. The principal had died in battle. Many instructors had also died in battle in the catacombs. Some of their classmates and companions had also remained in the catacombs forever. Initially, there were close to 20 upper stage rank 3 students and above. After one mission and one city defense mission, only 15 of them returned. Outside the alloy house, the 2 guards at the door became one, and Scarface disappeared. That day, the person who said that he would demolish the alloy house with Fong Ping when the catacombs were pacified was no longer around. Fong Ping seemed to have thought of something. He looked at the other gatekeeper who was distracted and said softly, "Uncle Scar, he said he's going to catch some catacombs girls." The somewhat lonely gatekeeper chuckled and said, "That fellow is always thinking about capturing a catacombs girl to train. Now he's finally satisfied." Fong Ping did not know if Scarface had entered the catacombs or if he had died in the catacombs, but he did not ask further. Too many people had died in the past few days. Everyone made way for the passageway. Outside, there was still an endless stream of martial artists entering. However, there were no longer inferior grade martial artists. They were all medial grade martial artists. The moment he walked out of the ground, an expert in the air chanted loudly, "Let's go!" Last year, on this day in this sect, the human face and peach blossoms reflected each other. The human face was nowhere to be seen, but the peach blossoms were still smiling in the spring breeze. Fong Ping did not know who the powerhouse was mourning for. Relatives? Lover? They were the grandmasters who had died in battle. When those old, frail, and injured grandmasters stepped into the catacombs, everyone knew that they would not be able to return. Grandmaster, stepping out of the military camp, Fong Ping mumbled to himself. Was this what a grandmaster was like? McMao. The moment Fong Ping and the others stepped into MCMU, dozens of instructors and students from the special training classes were waiting at the entrance. A silent martial arts salute was given to Fong Ping and the others with the highest form of courtesy. Everyone straightened their backs and returned the greeting. The leader was the dean of the School of Social Sciences. Of the 4 high grandmasters, 3 were in the catacombs and 1 was in Nanjiang. At the moment, MCMU had no grandmasters. Out of the 4 deans, 3 of them had entered the catacombs. Only Dean Chen Zhenhua from the School of Social Sciences was left behind to guard the place. The principal and the others. In the group, the students silently shed tears. Someone said with tears in his eyes, "The principal has died in battle. Instructor Wu Jiangping, Instructor Lan Yuru, Instructor Zhou Heron, all died in the catacombs." Chen Zhenhua's face seemed to have paled a lot. In the crowd, someone choked with sobs. "It's good that you're back, it's good that you're back," Chen Zhenhua murmured. He turned around and said, "Go back and have a good rest. Take good care of your wounds. Be well, be well." The moment he stepped away, the old man's tears fell like rain. He already knew it and should have been mentally prepared. However, 60 years. The old vice-chancellor who had taken good care of MCMAU for 60 years had left without a trace. How could he bear to see him go? The downfall of the demon warriors, the downfall of mankind. On this day, the entire MCMU was shrouded in sorrow. On this day, when the news spread from the catacombs, everyone who knew the truth was grieving. 7 high grandmasters had died in the catacombs. He had killed the 7 powerhouses of Skygate City, but not even their bones remained. He had fought in the catacombs, died in the catacombs, and was buried in the catacombs. Fong Ping refused to go to the infirmary. He had only suffered superficial wounds. The moment he came out of the catacombs, all he wanted was a good sleep. He wanted to forget about the catacombs, forget about the humans who were still fighting there, forget about his compatriots who had died in battle. He could not wait until the war was over to retrieve the corpses of his instructors and classmates. He did not even have the right to participate in the final battle. There was no other reason. He was too weak. Even if he could kill a rank 4, he was still too weak. In the catacombs, even grandmasters would die in battle. He was just a small rank 3. What right did he have to say that he wanted to stay? In less than 10 days, Fong Ping felt that he had gone through the longest period of his life. The MCMU students could leave because many people thought that these martial arts students were the seeds of grandmasters among mankind. That was why they left these seeds for MCMAU. What about the martial artists from the military department? What about the normal people? Fong Ping did not cultivate. He fell asleep immediately, not caring about the sourness and smell of blood all over his body. He had forgotten about the catacombs. Sadness was the right of the weak. He did not need to be sad. In the future, he would become stronger and pacify the catacombs. That would be the best sacrifice. When Fong Ping woke up, he did not feel refreshed. Instead, he felt sore all over. The morning sun shone into the room. For the first time, Fong Ping felt that the sun was so beautiful. He sat up on the bed and walked to the window. Outside the window, birds sang and flowers bloomed. It was like a paradise. It's like a dream, Fong Ping mumbled to himself. Downstairs, there were students doing their morning exercises. When Fong Ping stood by the window, someone saw him and quickly shouted, "President! Good morning, President! President is back." These people from the Ping Yuan Club were not strong. They did not know about the catacombs. They only knew that many people from the university were out on missions. They did not know that in a place they did not know, 7 grandmaster powerhouses had died in battle in a day. The government did not announce this to the public, at least not at this time. When ordinary people found out that 7 grandmasters had died in battle in Sino Nation, how terrified would they be? In many people's eyes, grandmasters were like God, the symbol of invincibility. Only when the next day, when everyone knew about the catacombs, would the people who had died in battle in the catacombs be known. However, when that time came, other than the names of unfamiliar people, what else would be left behind? The pitiful bones by the unfixed river were like the dreams of a young lady. The humans who guarded the catacombs were the noblest, but also the lowliest. Fong Ping was slightly absent-minded. He nodded lightly toward the downstairs. After washing up, he changed into a new set of clothes. He cleaned up neatly and walked out of the dormitory. Fong Ping was slightly at a loss. What should he do now? After thinking about it, Fong Ping strode toward the logistics department. In the huge MCMAU, it seemed like the only instructor he was familiar with was Old Man Lee. The logistics department was getting more and more deserted. The seniors had graduated, and the new students had not arrived yet. Most of the instructors had gone to the catacombs. The rank 3 students were either recuperating or cultivating. The rank 1 and 2 martial artists were on summer break, and some of them had already left. In the huge MCMU, there were not many people in school at this time. Old Man Lee was still there. The old man did not smoke his tobacco. He had gotten a pot of peanuts from somewhere and was drinking it. When he saw Fong Ping, Old Man Li raised his head and glanced at him. He chuckled. "Want a drink?" "Instructor." Old Man Li did not wait for him to finish. He said self-deprecatingly, "They all went to the catacombs, but I didn't." TSK, TSK. The Vice-Chancellor really thinks highly of me, letting me break through to Grandmaster first. Ha ha, if I could break through, I would have done it a long time ago. Vice-Chancellor is afraid that I'll die in the catacombs. Old man, you're already dead, yet you're still concerned about whether others will die or not. You worry too much. Old Manly shook his head and laughed. Sit down. Why are you standing? Don't tell me you're looking down on me too? No. Fong Ping sat down. Old Manly suddenly downed the wine in his hand and sighed. Did you know? In MCMU, out of 10 instructors, 8 are the Vice-Chancellor's students. Fong Ping was a little surprised. Can the MCMU instructors compare to the local officials? Can they compare to the governors? Can they compare to the generals in the military department? Old Manly laughed and shook his head. They can't compare. MCMU instructors, to put it bluntly, are much stronger than some of the local officials in terms of strength and ability. If you stay in MCMU, you won't get as much as them. But why does everyone stay? Because of the Vice-Chancellor. 60 years ago, MCMU was founded. At that time, MCMU had nothing, not to mention CCMU. It couldn't even compare to the other martial arts universities. At that time, the Vice-Chancellor was only from the first batch of students recruited by MCMU. However, at that time, there was no 4-year system like it is now. He attended for a year and became MCMU's assistant instructor. In his second year, he started working as an instructor in MCMU. The Vice-Chancellor's teacher was MCMU's first Vice-Chancellor. However, the first Vice-Chancellor died very early. He was not very strong either. At that time, he was only a rank 5. A few years after MCMU was founded, the first Vice-Chancellor died in battle. At that time, there were still very few powerhouses. Not many powerhouses were willing to become the Vice-Chancellor of a martial arts university, especially one that had only been founded for a few years. Then, somehow, the Vice-Chancellor who had just achieved rank 4 was appointed as MCMU's acting Vice-Chancellor in the face of danger. At that time, he was only 25 years old. A 25-year-old Vice-Chancellor of a martial arts university. Seriously, the other martial arts universities did not treat MCMU as a martial arts university. The Vice-Chancellor was very talented. At that time, the Magic City catacombs had already appeared. His biggest dream was to nurture MCMU into a powerful martial arts school that could compete with the catacombs. You entered the catacombs and knew how strong the catacombs were. You also knew how ridiculous the Vice-Chancellor's dream was. But he took it seriously. After that, he spent the next few decades fighting for this dream. He taught many students. You don't know this, but the Vice-Chancellor is very cunning. Every day, he would instill in you the nobility of being an instructor. A smile appeared on Old Man Li's face. He chuckled softly and said, I remember that time he brainwashed us every day. Being an instructor is better than being a government official. Instructors are mentors who guide our lives. As a teacher, we are more admired than those government officials. Think about it. We were all a bunch of young people in our 20s. We were hot-blooded. How could we withstand his brainwashing every day? We despised the government officials and despised the businessmen. Our only thought was to stay in school after graduation and become an MCMU instructor. When I graduated, I actually didn't want to be an instructor. In the end, that dirty old man went to my parents and told them how noble the instructors of martial arts universities were, how good the treatment was. Then he beat me up. He said that if I dared to leave, he would break my legs. In the end, I was half forced and half tricked by him. Then I stayed in MCMU to be an instructor. This was the first time Fong Ping knew that Old Man Li was actually the vice-chancellor's student. At this moment, Fong Ping did not interrupt. Old Man Li was also speaking incoherently. He was lost in his memories. He smiled and said, "All these years, he used all kinds of means to retain a large number of students to be MCMEU's instructors. That's why MCMEU is prosperous today and has the status of one of the big two. Unfortunately, it's still very far away from his dream of a school going against a catacomb. He himself was also seriously injured because he went to battle many times. His indestructible body was almost obliterated. Not only his physical injuries, but also his psychological ones. After 60 years of ups and downs, most of the students he taught died in battle in the catacombs. Don't be fooled by his silence. Before this, he was prepared to wait for Nanjiang's catacombs to open. He and some seniors went to Nanjiang to fight to the death. I thought we could still wait for a while more. But the situation in Magic City's catacombs worsened. The old guy could not wait any longer. He went in hurriedly to die. Old Man Li drank another glass of wine. He shook his head and said with a mixture of joy and sorrow, "He's finally dead. Actually, I knew this day would come. I just didn't expect it to come so soon. His death is really satisfying." But he didn't think about it. If he died, what would happen to his dream? One school to destroy a catacomb. Ha ha ha, he can't even destroy a city. The old guy is good at bragging. He bragged from 60 years ago until now. In the end, he only managed to kill a rank 8. How embarrassing. We're also embarrassing. We couldn't help him fulfill his wish. Old Man Li laughed, tears streaming down his face. 40 years. He had stayed in MCMU for 40 years. He had been with that old pervert for 40 years. He really could not bear to let him go. I thought I would die first. Anyway, you've had enough students die. You should be used to it. But you died earlier than me. I only have one master. I'm a master, not an instructor." Fong Ping did not speak. He poured a glass of wine for Old Man Li. Old Man Li drained it in one gulp. His expression gradually returned to normal. He chuckled. "So be it. I'm already so old. It's time to get over it. It's embarrassing to talk so much to you, kid. I can't believe I even pissed on you. Don't tell anyone else. Otherwise, I'll slap you to death. Yes, tell me, what's the situation in the catacombs? When we came out, we had already defeated the 2 cities' encirclement. We killed and injured a large number of catacombs martial artists and ordinary troops." Fong Ping briefly explained the situation. Old Man Li nodded slightly. "The situation isn't too bad. We should be able to stop them. It's only 2 cities. Sino Nation has the strength to suppress them. Unlike Tiannan, Sino Nation has never built a military stronghold similar to Hope City. The passageway is also too close to the other city. That's why it was breached. If Magic City wants to breach Hope City, it'll only stand a chance if more than 5 cities join forces. However, there will be a lot of casualties too. This time, we've killed Skygate City's 2 commanders-in-chief and 5 high-ranked generals. Skygate City is no longer a concern. As for East Sunflower City, they've only dispatched 4 high-ranked people. Unless they turn out in full force, the upcoming battles will mainly focus on the middle and low-ranked ones." As he said that, Old Man Li suddenly said, "Kid, your generation is even more troublesome." Fong Ping looked doubtful. Old Man Li shook his head lightly. "Our generation is mainly fighting against Skygate City. Now that Skygate City has lost more than half of their high-ranked people, the 2 cities will likely merge or form a united front. In other words, the next time you enter the catacombs, you won't be facing the Skygate City martial artists that you're familiar with, but East Sunflower City. The battlefield is no longer within a 100-mile radius of Hope City. Instead, it has spread to a 500-mile radius. This means that the danger is higher. As for you guys, you might be the main force fighting against them in the future. That's why the pressure will be greater than ours. Fong Ping said in a low voice, sooner or later, the catacombs will be destroyed. It's the same whether it's sooner or later. I also hope that the catacombs threat will be solved in our generation. I don't want our descendants to continue fighting against the catacombs with no regard for their own safety. That's right, we thought so too back then. Old Man Lee laughed self-deprecatingly. They all thought so, but in the end, it was not what they wanted. After decades of war, not only did they not eliminate the enemy, but there were more and more of them. It was getting more and more dangerous. Could humans really defeat the other party? Right now, many people were at a loss. Old Man Lee did not say anything else. He drank his wine gloomily. The older generation of martial artists were almost all dead. Rank 7, Rank 8, Rank 9. None of these people died of old age. The funny thing was, until now, Old Man Lee and the rest did not know how old these powerhouses could live. Immortality was originally the ultimate pursuit of ancient martial artists. However, in the modern era, this had never happened. Most of the Rank 9 powerhouses were injured because of the years of fighting. Once they felt that they were not in their best condition, they would go deep into the catacombs and never return. What kind of scene was it in the depths of the catacombs? For a peak Rank 6 like him, he had no hope of becoming a grandmaster. He would not just sit around and wait for death. Peak Rank 6 martial artists either broke through or died in battle. There were no cases of them dying of old age or illness. Chapter 258. After drinking for a while, Old Man Lee suddenly said, "Peak Rank 3 now?" Fong Ping shook his head, but he quickly said just a little bit more. "My physique and vitality have caught up, and Manic Explosion can also slash 5 times in a row. Right now, I just feel like I'm missing that little bit. It's not perfect." Old Man Lee pondered for a moment, then said, "Go to the combat technique room and cultivate Vajra Punch. Once your fist force is all over your body, you'll be at peak Rank 3. As he said that, Old Man Lee continued, "Don't be too hasty if you want to break through to Rank 4 at peak Rank 3. Hone your skills first. Also, take advantage of the summer holidays to find martial artists to spar with." Fong Ping was slightly stunned. Why? Whether a martial artist is breaking through from a lower rank to a middle rank, or from a middle rank to a high rank, they all require the unity of essence, spirit, and soul to forge an invincible momentum. I'm referring to the experts among them. Your teacher calls herself Wu Wudi because of this. She wants to break through her shackles and become a grandmaster, but she was still a little bit lacking. She didn't create an invincible momentum among those. At the peak of level 6, if one wanted to be invincible among peak Rank 3 martial artists and become a powerhouse among Rank 4 martial artists, then go ahead and challenge them. I know that you've killed a Rank 4 martial artist in the catacombs. As for a Rank 5, I've heard someone mention it once. Kid, you don't have that kind of ability. But Rank 4 in the catacombs. Old Man Lee thought for a moment and said, "The catacombs Rank 4 martial artists are actually not weak. However, don't compare the catacombs Rank 4 martial artists with human Rank 4 martial artists." Why? Because we are under pressure. It was that simple. Old Man Lee sighed and said, "Our middle-ranked martial artists all fought their way out of the catacombs. Very few, or I should say, almost none of the Rank 4 martial artists advanced steadily. The catacombs Rank 4 martial artists were different. Some of their Rank 4 martial artists were only successful because they had enough energy stones. Therefore, who among the truly middle-rank powerhouses did not have a few catacombs same-rank lives on their hands? The martial artists in the catacombs outnumber us by a lot. The reason we can defend ourselves is partly because they did not join forces, and partly because our martial artists are stronger than theirs. Haven't you noticed this? There were many kinds of human martial artists. There were those who had never entered the catacombs, those who had entered the catacombs, those who had killed people of the same rank in the catacombs, those who had killed enemies of a higher rank. If you want to break through, then become the strongest among them. Don't pursue it before rank 3. If you want to break through rank 4, from rank 3, you still have to forge an invincible belief in yourself. Fang Ping thought about Wang Jinyang. Wang Jinyang challenged the northern lands because of this? Old Man Li shook his head. Yes and no. There were many reasons why he went to the north to challenge. It had something to do with the martial arts championship at that time, and it also had something to do with his desire to wield power in NMU. Therefore, the opponents he challenged, how to put it, were rank 3 powerhouses, but they were all weaker than him. His invincible aura had yet to reach its peak because his challenge was impure. If you want to challenge, don't avoid strong opponents. There are still powerhouses among peak rank 3. The rank 3 ranking list has not been updated yet. However, it should be updated tomorrow. Even if you've killed many rank 4 martial artists in the catacombs, or even rumored to have rank 5 martial artists, the ranking list may not put you first. You can challenge those who are in the top 10. Don't pick the weak ones. Also, establish MCMU's prestige. Old Man Li's gaze sharpened suddenly. The Vice-Chancellor died in battle. MCMU's days will be difficult, especially now that Vice-Chancellor Wu and Dean Huang are not in school. Old Lu has also gone to Nanjiang. MCMU has no grandmasters, although everyone is fighting against the catacombs. Ask yourselves honestly, is there really no one who has selfish motives? If you have 10 million, would you give it to your family or to an outsider? Even if that outsider wants to go to the catacombs to fight to the death with the enemy, it's not right or wrong. The 7 high grandmasters died in battle. What we grieve the most is the Vice-Chancellor's death. The other grandmasters' relatives, friends, and disciples think of the other grandmasters who died in battle. However, did these 7 grandmasters not die for humanity? Do you understand what I'm saying? Fang Ping nodded. The difference between everyone and a small family is that I can fight for humanity, but I also have to take care of my family. This is my nature. If it were me, I would do the same. Between the life and death of my family and an outsider, of course, I would choose to let my family live. You're not stupid after all. Old Man Li laughed. Therefore, there must be outsiders who are plotting against MCMU now, including some snatching of students, the distribution of resources. Of course, everyone won't do anything in the open. The Vice-Chancellor has just died in battle, unless they don't care about their dignity anymore. However, a large number of MCMU instructors have died in battle, students have died in battle, and the seniors have graduated. Now, our strength is at its lowest point. Even among all the students in MCMU, your strength is among the best. You can establish MCMU's prestige and display the strength of the students. This is a good thing for MCMU. Fang Ping frowned slightly. Kill them? Old Man Li glared at him and said exasperatedly, "Who asked you to kill them? Peak rank 3 elites are the hope of humanity. What I mean is make a big commotion. Don't spar in secret. For example, learn from your friend Wang Jinyang and block the door and make a scene. It's normal to get hurt. As long as you're not dead, it's not a big problem." Fang Ping thought for a while and said, "I don't think anyone at peak rank 3 is a match for me." Old Man Li looked at him without saying a word. "It's true, instructor. My bone marrow is like mercury now. Haven't you noticed?" Old Man Li still did not say a word. He continued to look at him. "Instructor, why are you looking at me like that? This time, if you really want to challenge them, don't use your vitality advantage to defeat the enemy." Fang Ping said in distress, What's this for? Idiot, your vitality is unlimited. You'll only think that you win by relying on your vitality advantage. Have you really considered that you can defeat your opponents of the same rank and rank? You don't even have confidence in yourself. What invincible momentum? Bullsh asterisk T. When you become a grandmaster, as long as you have enough energy, everyone will have unlimited vitality. It won't even be about vitality anymore, but about the control of energy. Do you really think you can defeat your opponents of the same rank? Fong Ping blinked. That seemed to be the case. When I become a grandmaster, vitality is no longer the deciding factor. What should I do then? So, you have to try from now on. Don't rely too much on your vitality advantage to defeat your opponents. But you don't have confidence. Old Manly reprimanded. A powerful rank 9 grandmaster, like Commander Lee, can fight 1 against 3 and even kill the opponent's rank 9 in a 1 versus 3 situation. A rank 8 powerhouse can fight a rank 9. Don't tell me you want to become a rank 9 martial artist who is defeated by a rank 8? Kid, look at the long term. Relying on your vitality advantage won't do you any good. Fong Ping exhaled. What the old man said made so much sense. He could not refute it, although it was not necessary to become an invincible powerhouse among the same rank. It was not to the extent of being defeated by others, right? If one day he became a rank 8 and was defeated by a rank 7, or if a rank 9 was not as good as a rank 8, then even if he became a rank 9, it would be embarrassing enough. Then, try not to use it, but it doesn't mean that you can't use it. For example, when you fought Gu Xiong in NMAU, you defeated him, then recovered your vitality. This is your advantage. Do you understand? You know about this too? Nonsense. Is there anything in MCMEU that I don't know? Old Man Lee's emotions recovered a lot, and he smiled slightly. Fong Ping thought for a moment, muttering, if that's the case, I can't crush them, and I can't use big moves without restraint either. Yes, you have to learn to control your strength, polish your combat techniques, and defeat your opponent with the least amount of effort. Got it. Fong Ping exhaled. In the end, he was still a little surprised and asked, aren't you curious that my bone marrow is like mercury? Old Man Lee's posture was that of a god, and he said lightly, what's there to be curious about? The world is big, and anything is possible. Do you think I should be shocked just because your bone marrow is like mercury? I've even seen martial artists who were born with 90% honed skulls. Do I need to be shocked? I've also seen young martial artists whose mentality is stronger than yours. Do I need to be surprised? Fong Ping was stunned. I think I can do it too. Old Man Lee's expression was a little tense. If you King strengthen your mentality and skull again, I'll really dismantle your bones for research. Fong Ping did not care about this. He mumbled, learning Vajra Punch, combining my fist force and stepping into peak rank 3. Then I'll challenge martial artists of the same rank and forge an invincible momentum. So, this is my next mission? Yes. Then, once I've achieved rank 4, will I be stronger than Wang Jinyang? As long as you rely on yourself and defeat those powerhouses with the same vitality, you'll be stronger than him. Although he's strong, he's not invincible among the same rank. Old Man Lee said with certainty. He added, with your vitality advantage, both of you will be of the same rank and rank. He won't be your opponent. Fong Ping's eyes lit up. If that was the case, perhaps he could beat old Wang up after a while and collect his debts? His mind was running wild. Then Fong Ping remembered something and asked in a strange tone, Instructor, what does Nyagukuli mean? Old Man Lee thought hard. After a while, he finally remembered. He said uncertainly, it means to kill me, right? What do you mean by that question? Fong Ping's expression changed. I knew something was wrong. Old Man Lee said nonchalantly, who cares what it means? As long as it's useful. All right, you should go. This old man has something to do later. You still have something to do? Nonsense. There's no grandmaster in the university. More than half of the instructors have left. If I'm not busy, why would you? I'm fine with it. Get lost. Old Man Lee scolded him with a smile. He felt better after talking to this kid. The dirty old man had left, but the younger generation had performed very well. MCMU had a successor, so he was not afraid that MCMU, which the dirty old man valued the most, would decline. Seeing that he was really busy, Fong Ping could only leave. However, he was thinking, what did Old Man Lee teach me to say? He made a trip to the combat technique library and borrowed the cultivation materials for the Vajra fist. After reading for a while, Fong Ping's eyes lit up. He had always wanted to find a combat technique that allowed him to unleash a powerful burst of power. Vajra punch was one such combat technique. Too bad, it's not a saber technique. But if you master one technique, you'll be able to master all techniques. Fists and sabers are only different in form. Back then, my mentality was attached to the saber, and I could wield the saber like my arm. Fist and saber techniques are interchangeable. Combat techniques were created by people. People like Zhang Dingnan were creating combat techniques when they were in the middle ranks. Fong Ping was lacking in many things, so naturally he could not create one. However, if he could fuse a known fist technique with a saber technique, there was still hope for him to apply the fist technique to the saber. I've seen too little and experienced too little. Otherwise, I might not even need to learn Vajra punch to achieve unity in my fists. After reading the materials for a while, Fong Ping looked at his wealth and vitality, frowning slightly. Wealth, 25. 5 million vitality. 954 calories, 1,219 calories plus mentality. 520 hertz, 549 hertz plus bones honed. 126 bones, 100%, 51 bones, 90% plus, 29 bones, 30% plus. I only have about 20 million wealth left. Before the defense battle, he still had 50 million wealth. After the defense battle, he had used up a lot of wealth. This time, he did not bring back any spoils from the catacombs. All the energy stones and other things were used to replace his equipment, B-class Guandao, and leather armor made from the skin of a middle-stage rank 5 creature were the two things that were used up the most. As for his cash, he had used all of it before he went to the catacombs. The remaining 2 million was still in his card at home, with Fong Yuan. Right, my phone was taken away by the military department. It's been in the shielded area. It's time to call home. This time, Fong Ping had stayed in the catacombs for 9 days. When he came back, he slept for the whole day. It was already the 30th. Looking at the time, he was engrossed in Vajra punch. It was already late at night. I'll call again tomorrow. Fong Ping continued to have a headache as he said that. Cultivating combat techniques required wealth, and honing the bone marrow of the torso required wealth. He wanted to try honing his skull, but that would also require wealth. Where could he get wealth? Though, the torso bone still needs 51 million wealth. This is a must. The wealth I have now is enough to cultivate combat techniques. Achieving peak rank 3 won't be a problem. At the end of the day, I still need to earn at least 50 million. Fong Ping sighed. His days were not going to be easy. As for the military department, he had killed many martial artists while defending the city. He had spoils, but he had to wait until the military department's war was over. At this stage, the catacombs only allowed entry, not exit. It's summer break now, right? Do you want to go home? Fong Ping was a little absent-minded. He had almost forgotten about the summer break. No wonder Qin Fengqin told martial artists not to think about holidays when he first saw him. Also, about the MCMU platform. Fong Ping mumbled. A few students had died in battle this time. The reimbursement rate given by the school should be enough, but the platform had only been operating for a short time. This is difficult. Sighs kept coming. Fong Ping wanted to go back to the catacombs now. There was no need to think so much. If he ran out of money, he could just go out and kill a few catacombs martial artists. The instructors and the others are still in the catacombs. I don't know when they'll come back. The instructors and students' corpses haven't been transported back either. So many people died in battle this time. Chapter 259. Vajra Punch was a middle-ranked combat technique, but it was not created by modern martial artists. It was an ancient fist technique. Rumor had it that it had been passed down from a Buddhist sect thousands of years ago. It was created by a Buddha. Of course, rumors were just rumors. In modern people's eyes, a Buddha was a powerhouse who had entered the Grandmaster realm. Vajra Punch emphasized the unity of body, mouth, and mind. In Taoist terms, it could be understood as the unity of essence, spirit, and soul. This was a middle-ranked combat technique that many upper-stage rank 3 martial artists would learn. It was very helpful for breaking through to peak rank 3. Glaring Vajra. Even Buddha is angry. Fong Ping looked at the information. Vajra Punch emphasized strength and ferocity. The entire set of fist techniques emphasized ruthlessness and decisiveness. Fists were like Vajra, with irresistible force. Fong Ping looked at it for a while and compared Vajra Punch and Manic Explosion. The strength depended on the individual's performance. Manic Explosion was not a pure strength and ferocity technique. There were more techniques in it. Stacking consecutive slashes and outbursts was also a difficult technique to master. Vajra Punch, on the other hand, did not have many techniques to master. It was more about a kind of momentum. Invincible momentum. No matter how strong you are, I will break it with one punch. Fong Ping muttered. He suddenly stood up and took a stance. His expression was ferocious. With a roar, he punched. Boom. The air exploded and the room seemed to shake slightly. Fong Ping shook his head slightly. I still can't combine my fists. If I could, the power would be more than this. Of course, it was also because he had not understood the combat technique formula. It was his first time cultivating, so he had many flaws. The instructor isn't here. I'll ask Old Man Lee later. In the blink of an eye, the sky was bright. It was officially July. The other students went to class and had their holidays as usual. By the 1st of July, many had already packed their bags and were ready to go home. Unknowingly, Fong Ping's freshman year had officially come to an end. In the morning, Fong Ping turned on his fully charged phone. As soon as he turned it on, messages kept ringing. They came from many people. His sister, Fong Yuan, sent the most messages. Fong Ping first opened Fong Yuan's message. He could not help but smile when he read it. Fong Ping, call me when you see it. Fong Ping, where have you been? Where are you? If you don't return my call, I'll go to Shanghai to look for you. Fong Ping, where have you been? Mom and Dad are so worried. I'm also worried about you. Bro, if you don't call me back, I'm really going to Shanghai. I've starved myself so thin that you won't be able to pinch my face. I went to Shanghai after the exams. Dad said that you must be busy, but you haven't been heard from for 10 days. Brother, I've booked the ticket. When he saw the last message, it was from the previous night. Fong Ping immediately called Fong Yuan. That girl was really coming to Magic City. Brother? Fong Yuan's uncertain voice came from the other side of the phone. Fong Ping smiled. It's me, you bastard, bastard, bastard. Fong Ping, where the hell have you been? Why aren't you picking up the phone? You're not even in the service area. You're pissing me off. There was a smile on Fong Ping's face. He said softly, Didn't I say that I have to go out for a while? It's only been a few days. Why are you in such a hurry? Who's in a hurry? Fong Yuan sniffled and snorted. It's Mom and Dad who are in a hurry. I wouldn't care about you otherwise. Are Mom and Dad here? No, I'm outside. Outside? You're on the bus? What bus? Only an idiot would get on the bus. Do you really think I'll go and look for you? In your dreams. I'm playing at my classmate's house. The girl was very stubborn. Fong Ping could already hear the noise and the station announcement from the train station. Fong Ping did not expose her. He laughed. That's fun. I still have to stay in Magic City for a few more days. I'll go back in a few days. Also, you're not allowed to become thin. You even starved yourself to become thin. That's not good. You have to be thin. I'll beat you up if you become thin. Don't you dare. The siblings chatted childishly for a while. Fong Ping did not explain much. He hung up and called his father. Fong Mingrong, on the other hand, was much calmer. He asked a few simple questions about his health and did not ask anything else. During the few days when Fong Ping could not be contacted, Fong Yuan made a big fuss. Fong Mingrong was also worried. Later, Bai Jinshan came to visit and said that it was normal for Fong Ping to be uncontactable because he was on a mission. Fong Mingrong was relieved. In Sun City, there was no one who did not believe Commander Bai's words. After contacting his family, Fong Ping continued to read the messages. There were from Wu Zhihao, Yang Jian, and the others, and Li Chengze. They were all simple inquiries. Not showing up for 10 days was not too long for martial artists. However, Fong Ping saw a message from Wang Jinyang. Return to Nanjiang. Give me a call. Wang Jinyang knew about Fong Ping entering the catacombs. The higher-ups of the martial arts universities knew about MCMU's large-scale expedition. After some thought, Fong Ping did not call him. He would think about it later. He was still reading the messages when the door rang. Fong Ping opened the door and saw Fu Changding and the others outside. Fong Ping, how's your injuries? Fong Ping came back on the 29th, but he slept all the way until the 30th. No one came to disturb him, and they only came looking for him now. I'm fine. It's just a small injury. Fong Ping smiled. You guys didn't go back? Fu Changding said worriedly. The instructors and the others haven't come back yet. We still don't know how the situation is. We can't sit still even if we go back now. Fong Ping, you're the last one to come back. The vice-chancellor really? Fong Ping's expression was calm. He nodded slightly. That day, dozens of grandmasters and high ranks fought. The two cities besieged Hope City. The vice-chancellor and the others lured the enemy's high ranks away and didn't come back after that. Sigh. The few of them sighed. They were too weak. They were so weak that they could not even help with the defense in a battle of this level. They had no choice but to leave the catacombs in advance. This time, only a portion of the people in the special training classes were injured. None of them died. Instead, there were many casualties among the instructors and peak upper stage rank 3 martial artists. Even a golden body powerhouse like the vice-chancellor had fallen. Then the vice-chancellor and the others, Fong Ping shook his head. I don't know. I'm only a rank 3 student. We don't know the whereabouts of these grandmaster powerhouses, but they should be fine. Otherwise they would definitely know. MCMU only had a few grandmasters. If 2 of them fell at once, the situation would be much worse than it was now. I hope everyone is safe and sound. Fu Changding prayed. Fong Ping did not say anything. He could not guarantee anything like this. He invited them into the house to sit down. Chen Yunqi felt a little uncomfortable as soon as she sat down. Suddenly, she whispered, I'll clean up for you. Is that okay? Fong Ping was stunned. Then he felt a little awkward. He said sheepishly, You're a neat freak. Don't tell me? The room was indeed quite dirty. They had not been back for 10 days. In addition, they had fallen asleep as soon as they fell into bed stinking of blood. There was a strange smell in the room now. Fong Ping was also tired. He was not in the mood to clean, so he did not do it. He was used to it. However, the moment they entered the door, they smelled a sour stench. No, it's just, Chen Yunqi was a little embarrassed. Fong Ping laughed. Do you know how to clean? Forget it. I'll do it myself later. As he said that, he changed the topic. Is there something you need from me? Seeing that he had rejected her, Chen Yunxi did not say anything else. Fu Changding did not care about their business. He said, "It's like this. The Martial Arts Society wants to hold a meeting. The university's peak rank 2 and rank 3 martial artists are invited. You're not a member of the Martial Arts Society, so President Zhang asked us to pass on a message to you." Zhang Yu, Fong Ping frowned. Did he say something? He didn't. Fu Changding shook his head. It might have something to do with the catacombs incident. A few seniors died in the catacombs this time. Actually, it's not just the ones you saw. A few rank 4 seniors died in the battle. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. Ever since MCMAU students graduated from their senior year, there were very few rank 3 and 4 martial artists. He thought that only a few rank 3 students had died in the battle. He did not expect that a few rank 4 students had died as well. In this way, the strength of MCMU students had really dropped a lot. "I'm not a member of the Martial Arts Society." President Zhang said that right now, there's no distinction between the Martial Arts Society and the Ping Yuan Club. The Ping Yuan Club's strength was average, but after graduating from their senior year, the members of the Ping Yuan Club were about to enter their sophomore year. Now, among the 108 people, Fong Ping was an upper stage rank 3. Fu Changding, Zhao Lei, and Chen Yunxi were 3 peak rank 2. Yang Xiaoman, Zhao Xuemei, and a few others were also close to achieving peak rank 2. At this time, the Ping Yuan Club was not a dispensable existence. All right then, when is the meeting? Right now. Right now? So, urgent. Fong Ping did not say anything more. He stood up and said, "Let's go." "Didn't Zhang Yu go to the catacombs?" "He just came back from the catacombs a few days ago." Then, a big battle broke out. He's the president of the Martial Arts Society, so he didn't go in after that. The few of them walked and chatted. Soon, they arrived at the Martial Arts Society. The Martial Arts Society occupied a huge area. At this moment, people were rushing over one after another. When they saw Fong Ping and the others, some of them greeted Fong Ping warmly. These were the martial artists who were above rank 3, who had gone on the mission with him previously. After rank 5 graduates, rank 4 was rare, and a few rank 5 had died in battle. In MCMU, martial artists above rank 3 were the best in the school. Fong Ping also saw a familiar face, Lu Yongwen. When he saw Lu Yongwen avoided Fong Ping's gaze. Fong Ping sneered and did not look at him anymore. Last year, when school started, this guy had instigated some senior students to cause trouble for him. In the end, he had killed 2 of them. After old Wang came to scare him a little, he had completely given up. These days, Fong Ping had not seen him. He did not expect to bump into him this time. Fong Ping was not a martial artist yet, and the other was a rank 3. Now, Fong Ping had become an upper stage rank 3. After probing just now, Lu Yongwen was only a middle stage rank 3. Fong Ping did not know if it was because he could not break through, or because he was afraid that he would die if he did. He would really die. Most of the time, if an upper stage rank 3 martial artist did not go to the catacombs, they would definitely be despised by others, including the instructors. When Fong Ping was an upper stage rank 3, Tang Feng despised him for not daring to go deep into the catacombs. If a senior like Lu Yongwen, an upper stage rank 3, did not dare to go to the catacombs, then it was not a matter of despise. MCMU would treat such students as a disgrace. Ignoring Lu Yongwen, Fong Ping saw a few people and quickly shouted, "Brother Yi, Sister Lu." From the side, Lu Mengyao and Yi Qing strode over. Yi Qing nodded slightly, his hair still standing straight. Lu Mengyao was much more enthusiastic. When she saw Fong Ping and the others, she immediately smiled and said, "Brother Fong, Yunxi, you're here too." Chen Yunxi quickly greeted them too. Zhao Xuemei had not reached peak rank 2 yet, so she could not attend the meeting. Fang Ping and Lu Mengyao chatted for a while, then asked, "The two young brothers didn't come?" Feng Hua is preparing to break through to rank 4. Hua Bao is also preparing to break through to upper stage rank 3. He went out to do missions, because Lu Fengru had warned them not to go to the catacombs for now. They did not go this time. Yi Qing had already broken through to peak rank 3. In addition to peak rank 3 Liang Fenghua, who was preparing to break through to rank 4, and Liang Huabao, who was preparing to break through to upper stage, Fang Ping suddenly realized that Lu Fengru's students did not seem to be weak at the moment. There were 2 peak rank 3. Currently, only Fang Ping was at upper stage, Liang Huabao and Lu Mengyao were at middle stage. Chen Yunxi was at peak rank 2, and Zhao Xuemei was at upper stage. Among the 7 students, Zhao Xuemei, the weakest, was almost at peak rank 2. When the next semester started, Chen Yunxi would have no problem entering rank 3 if nothing went wrong. Zhao Xuemei would also have no problem entering peak rank 2. Rank 3 would not be a problem either. When that time came, 7 rank 3s, or even rank 4s, would be extremely strong. The few of them walked and talked, walking toward the Martial Arts Society's big conference room. As for what Zhang Yu wanted to say, no one was too sure. Martial Arts Society, in the big conference room, at this moment, as peak rank 2 students and rank 3 and 4 students arrived one after another, there were about 100 people in the conference room. Zhang Yu, who was standing at the front, felt a little sad. At its peak, there were only a few rank 5 students in MCMAU, 2 digits of rank 4s, more than 100 rank 3s, and hundreds of peak rank 2. Now, there were less than half of them. Most of the seniors graduated, but there were also many who died in the catacombs. When Fang Ping and the others arrived, almost everyone had arrived. "Is everyone here?" Zhang Yu asked. Zhou Yan answered immediately. "Other than some people who are not in school, everyone is here. All right, let's start the meeting." Zhang Yu sat down, looked at everyone, and said, "I think everyone knows about everything that has happened in MCMU recently. There are 3 reasons for gathering everyone here. First, to send the instructors and students home." Zhang Yu's tone was solemn. "Tomorrow, the entrance to the catacombs will open. The bodies of the first batch of people who died in battle will be sent out. The instructors will be buried in MCMU South Park, but the news of their deaths must be told to their families. The instructors are busy now and can't handle these matters. The others don't know about the catacombs, so we can only send them home. Does anyone have any objections?" Everyone shook their heads. "The bodies of the students will also be cremated. The compensation and ashes will be sent back. I hope that everyone can help. Also, we need to comfort the families and contact the local government. This is something that only we can do." Everyone nodded again. They were too weak to contact the government. There might be some trouble if they went. At the very least, it would be difficult to meet the local leaders. Second, at the end of the year, the second martial arts championship will start. This time, it won't be looking at new students, but the martial arts clubs of each school. Fang Ping, I want to invite you to be the vice president of the Martial Arts Society. What do you think? In the crowd, Fang Ping glanced at Zhang Yu. He was not familiar with Zhang Yu, but he did not seem to be annoying. After some thought, Fang Ping shook his head. "I won't be the vice president. Before school starts, I will challenge you. Giving me the president position is more like it." Zhang Yu frowned slightly. CLA, who had been silent all this while, suddenly humphed. "You talk big. Fang Ping, do you really think that you can disregard the Martial Arts Society just because you killed a few martial artists in the catacombs?" Fang Ping shook his head. "President Xia, don't be so agitated. I didn't say that. Don't overthink it. I don't want to be the vice president because I don't want to clash with everyone. You have to understand what I mean." CLA frowned. "Letting you be the vice president is just a title to participate in the championship at the end of the year. MCMU is in a lot of trouble now. We can't lose the championship. With your speed, you should be able to achieve rank 4 by the end of the year. Without the strength of rank 4, it'll be difficult to win the championship. Fong Ping shook his head again. We'll talk about it when the time comes. There's no hurry now. President Zhang, continue. Zhang Yu looked at him deeply. Then he said, "Third, I hope that distance platform will close the loan system. Or rather, not close it but collect all the credits, gather the resources, and lend them to all the peak rank 2 martial artists here so that they can achieve rank 3 as soon as possible. This includes some middle stage rank 3 martial artists so that they can achieve upper stage rank 3 as soon as possible. Fong Ping, I'm not targeting you. I hope you can understand what I'm thinking. MCMU's resources are limited. In order to gather 100,000 credits for all of you, the school is no longer able to subsidize everyone. But as you can see now, there are less than 100 rank 3 students in MCMU. This is also the lowest number in years. For MCMU's dignity, status, and reputation, we need to let some people achieve rank 3 in advance. Fong Ping frowned slightly. He said, President Zhang gathered all the peak rank 2 and rank 3 martial artists this time. Is it to pressure me? Don't misunderstand. I didn't mean that. Zhang Yu explained. Right now, 100,000 credits of resources are distributed among a large number of aspiring martial artists and rank 1 martial artists. Everyone is a student. If it were any other time, I would be happy if the students improved. However, things are different now. We should concentrate the resources on the students who have a higher chance of achieving rank 3, not distribute them. This is the school's purpose. Fong Ping, the school's purpose is to nurture more powerhouses. Since they are powerhouses, then they should fight for it on their own. Can I take it that you want to take away my authority now? Xie Lei interrupted. Fong Ping, the distribution of resources is the Martial Arts Society's authority. Fong Ping said nonchalantly, then you guys can go and create a platform. Xie Lei was slightly annoyed. We're not talking about a platform now. We're talking about concentrating the resources to nurture rank 3 martial artists, not spreading them out to allow aspiring martial artists to achieve rank 1 and rank 1 martial artists to achieve rank 2. Even 100 rank 2 martial artists can't compare to an upper stage rank 3 martial artist. You also entered rank 3 from rank 1 and rank 2. Don't try to change the topic and pester me endlessly, Xie Lei said again. The president and I both said that this is a special period. Nowadays, more and more rank 3 and 4 students are dying in battle. Since the beginning of the year, there have been 20. We must maintain the number of rank 3 students. The number of rank 3 students is also an affirmation of a martial arts university's teaching results. Having said that, Xie Lei looked at the crowd and said, Everyone, you can also talk about your opinions. The Martial Arts Society is a student organization. This is also for MCMU for the students. Fong Ping interrupted him directly, saying, I'm sorry. The platform is mine. I fought for the 100,000 credits myself. If you think that these credits are taking up everyone's resources, that's just your imagination. In reality, these resources were saved by the instructors so that a large number of normal students could benefit from them. Now that they're directly distributed to everyone here, the nature of this system has changed. In MCMU, in any martial arts university, the pursuit of individual strength is not for the sake of individual strength, but for the sake of overall strength. If an individual wants to become strong, then rely on themselves. Go to the catacombs to fight and complete missions, not force the school to provide for them. This is not the style of martial arts universities. Xie Lei, I won't question whether you and President Zhang are wholeheartedly working for the public or have selfish motives. I'm more willing to believe that you are working for the public. After all, the two of you have the ability to fight for your own opportunities. However, I still want to say this. Don't stand on the side of righteousness and moral high ground to criticize and deny anything. If you take out your own resources and distribute them to everyone, then I won't have any opinions and I won't question anything. But this is not yours and it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to all MCMEU students. The school's goal is to conduct a pilot program to see if it can promote everyone's collective improvement. Now that you want me to take it back, I'm sorry, but I can't do it. Zhang Yu lightly knocked on the table. Xie Lei was also a little annoyed. Everyone's thinking was different. They were in different positions, and they looked at the problem from different angles. 100,000 credits, close to 3 billion pills and weapons and resources. It was inevitable that they could cultivate more than 10 rank 3 students. Now that these resources were allocated by the school, they were earmarked for special use. No one could use them. Now that Fong Ping had distributed these resources to thousands of students, they thought that Fong Ping was messing around. Concentrating on cultivating a group of elites was what they wanted. None of them could convince the other. 2 of Zhang Yu's 3 goals had been refuted. For a moment, some of the people in the martial arts society did not look too good. Seeing that, Fong Ping did not beat around the bush. He stood up and said, I have something to do. I'll leave first. When the bodies of the instructors and students return, inform me. It's my duty to send them home. As for the rest, I'm sorry. After Fong Ping left, Zhang Yu rubbed his forehead. Xie Lei said angrily, Fong Ping is messing around. Yi Qing said lightly, Fong Ping did not embezzle any resources. He's also thinking of all the students. Why would President Xie say something like that? Yi Qing, don't be blinded by your blindness. Let me ask you, rank 3 students or rank 1 or 2, which is more important? I don't think there's any difference. In the catacombs, rank 3 students are just cannon fodder. Yi Qing stood up immediately and said, I only think the first suggestion must be done. The rest are nonsense. You still have the mind to fight for power at this time. How bold of you. Xie Lei said angrily, Are we fighting for power? Don't we want MCMU to be stronger? Don't we want MCMU students to be safer? Do you think it's common for us to want to die in battle? The distribution of resources should, of course, be concentrated on the martial artists who enter the catacombs, and not those who don't. They'll enter sooner or later. At least not now. Stronger now, safer in the future. At the end of the argument, everyone parted on bad terms. At this moment, Fong Ping was thinking about what Old Man Li had said earlier. Everyone had their own selfish motives. This was the difference between everyone and everyone else. Xie Lei and the others might really be doing it for MCMEU, but their family was the martial arts society. Fong Ping was the same. His family was himself. The old vice-chancellor's family was MCMEU. Zhang Dingnan's family was Nanjiang. What about Wang Jinyang? NMEU or Nanjiang? Or maybe just his instructor? Their ultimate goal was the same, to pacify the catacombs. However, the paths in between were different. I have my thoughts. You guys have yours. In the end, it still depends on the strength of one's strength. If logic can't convince them, then it'll depend on fists. Fong Ping shook his head slightly. Maybe this was the school's goal. Forget it. Let's not care about this for now. In a few days, after I've settled the things at hand, I should also prepare for rank 3 to break through to rank 4. At least I have to be faster than old Wang. Chapter 260. While Fong Ping was consulting Old Man Li on the details of cultivating Vajra Punch, the Martial Arts University Combat ranking list was updated once again. On July 1st, the ranking list was updated. It had only been a month since the last time, but the rankings had undergone a huge change. In the Martial Arts University's rank 3 combat strength ranking list, Fong Ping had made it to the top of the list with the fastest speed possible. Ling Yi, CCMU sophomore, 20 years old, peak, rank 3 martial artist. Ranking, number 1-inch peak battle record. Single-handedly fought a peak rank for martial artist and beheaded an upper stage rank for martial artist. Qin Fengqing, MCMU junior student, 21 years old, peak rank 3 martial artist. Ranking 2nd. Peak battle record. Killed an upper stage rank for martial artist amidst an army of 10,000. Fong Ping, MCMU freshman, 19 years old, upper stage rank 3 martial artist. Rank 3rd peak battle record. Escaped from a rank 6 powerhouse, killed a rank 5 powerhouse, beheaded a middle stage rank for martial artist, and several early stage rank for martial artists. Based on the results of the top 3, Fong Ping's battle record was actually the strongest. He had killed a rank 5. Of course, this was Fong Ping's own statement. He later said that he had used a trick to kill the rank 5, and everyone agreed tacitly. However, the rank for martial artists that Fong Ping had killed were mostly early stage. The only middle stage martial artist that he had killed by himself was a middle stage rank for martial artist that he had killed during the mission period. He had killed an extremely fast martial artist that was a middle stage rank 4. CCMU's Ling Yi was fighting a peak rank for martial artist alone. This was a battle, not Fong Ping's escape. In the battle to defend the city, Qin Fengqing's final outburst had single-handedly beheaded an upper stage rank for martial artist. As for who was stronger between Qin Fengqing and Ling Yi, it was hard to judge who was first and second. However, Ling Yi was a sophomore while Qin Fengqing was a junior. Moreover, he was 1 year older than her, so he was ranked second. As for the previous few, they had either broken through to rank 4 or graduated and were no longer on the list. Fong Ping fought his way into the top 3 ranks at a frightening pace. MCMU CLA was currently ranked 18th, a notch below Fong Ping. In addition, Liang Fenghua was also on the list, ranked 12th, and so was Yi Qing, ranked 44th. This was the Martial Arts University's combat strength ranking. From Old Man Lee, Fong Ping saw the entire rank 3 ranking list. You're ranked 9th. Fong Ping shook his head. My battle record is the best, okay? Even a rank 6 couldn't kill me. Are you sure? I heard that if it weren't for Tang Feng, you would have been killed. Fong Ping said sheepishly. But I've also killed a rank 5 before. Old Manly looked at him strangely, as if to say, try saying that again. Fong Ping was unconcerned. He continued, I've really killed a rank 5 before. You were almost killed by a middle stage rank for martial artist. Bullsh *T. Didn't I still kill him in the end? Then, he said, on the ranking list there are 3 rank 3s in the military department ahead of me. Including the 2 from martial arts universities, there are actually 2 sect martial artists and 1 casual martial artist. What's going on? Old Man Lee sneered. That's normal. The sects are also guarding the catacombs. Casual martial artists also enter the catacombs to fight. Why can you guys become stronger, but they can't? Fong Ping nodded slightly and said, So, the ones I want to challenge are them? You can start from 10th place or even the top 20. The gap between everyone isn't that big. As he said that, Old Manly added, You don't have the advantage of vitality. You're probably not their match. That's not necessarily true. They're not much older than me. My combat techniques aren't that profound, but they might not be much better than me. You can defeat Qin Fengqing? He's about to achieve rank 4. Fong Ping said, then suddenly said, Qin Fengqing didn't show up today. He's quite a lively person. This time, the vice-chancellor, Old Manly, sighed softly. Don't bother about him. Qin Fengqing's father was actually the vice-chancellor's student. He was my junior, but he died in the catacombs. His father was very talented, and the vice-chancellor valued him. After he died, The vice-chancellor was very sad and regretful. After Qin Fengqing applied for MCMAU, although the instructor was someone else, the vice-chancellor took extra care of him and taught him some of the combat techniques that he had taught his father back then. Strictly speaking, the vice-chancellor is not only his grandmaster, but also half a teacher to him. I see. Fang Ping understood now. No wonder Qin Fengqing's tone was so intense after the vice-chancellor died. Old Man Li sighed again, shaking his head. I hope this kid can overcome this hurdle, but I believe it won't be a big problem. Qin Fengqing will only get stronger the more he fights when he encounters setbacks. After he was defeated by Wang Jinyang, he worked hard and quickly became one of the best among the students. Moreover, in the rank 3 stage, he has actually accumulated to a limit. This time, he killed an upper stage rank for martial artist, which proved all this. If nothing goes wrong, he will probably choose to break through. As for the accumulation of invincible momentum, when he killed the upper stage rank for martial artist, he's more or less done it. Then, aren't those people before him the same? It depends on the individual. Some people think that the catacombs martial artists are not enough to measure their combat strength, so they choose to continue accumulating. They all want to be geniuses who can kill people above their ranks. Speaking of which, are there no geniuses like this in the catacombs? There are, Old Man Li said seriously, and there are quite a few, but these people won't appear in the military. They mainly appear in the grinder area, including the depths of the catacombs. Actually, the area you've entered now is the outermost area of the catacombs. Fang Ping did not say anything else. Old Man Li did not say anything else either. He began to give him some pointers about the cultivation of a draw punch. The cultivation of combat techniques is not an armchair strategy. The key is still in actual combat. The cultivation of your Vajra punch mainly depends on combat to improve it. Also, it's best if you can cultivate manic explosion to the stage of 7 collective slashes. If you can really reach the stage, you'll undoubtedly be the first among rank 3. I know, I've learned a lot in the catacombs this time. My combat techniques have also broken through to the stage of 5 consecutive slashes. It's good that you understand. For the whole day, Fang Ping holed up in the logistics department, diligently cultivating Vajra punch. Meanwhile, in the outside world, there was another uproar. Escaping from a rank 6 powerhouse, scheming to kill a rank 5, and killing a middle stage rank 4. Fang Ping, the rank 1 martial artist that most people were still stuck in the martial arts university championship stage, had already achieved killing a middle stage. As for the first and second place, both of them had killed an upper stage rank 4, which was also shocking. Each time was stronger than the last. In the previous rank 3 ranking list, killing an early stage rank 4 was enough to be in the top 10. Now, the top 3 were no longer satisfied with killing early stage rank for martial artists, but upper stage rank for martial artists. Nanjiang. Wang Jinyang saw the ranking list too and sighed. He remembered the first time he met Fang Ping. He was a rash young man who mistakenly took a pill, and his vitality skyrocketed. That was why he paid attention to him. After that, the incident with Wang Bin made him remember Fang Ping. Now, in the blink of an eye, Fang Ping was already famous. He's growing very fast. If this goes on, he'll catch up to him soon. Wang Jinyang smiled. A young girl beside him ate and said vaguely, "Aren't you already upper stage rank 4? It's still early for him." He's improving very fast. Peak rank 3 should be near. Once he enters peak rank 3, rank 4 will be just around the corner. At that time, I'll probably only enter peak rank 4. I'll be at the same rank. He was peak rank 3 when Fang Ping became a martial artist. Now he was peak rank 4 when Fang Ping had probably entered rank 4. It had to be said that if this went on, he might really be caught up to. The young girl said vaguely, "He's still not your match?" That might not be true. They're all growing. I'm not the only one. I told you last year you should have pulled him to NMEU. Then there might not be Fong Ping now. Wang Jinyang laughed and stretched. I should work harder. If this guy really catches up to me, it'll be embarrassing. But there's no need to rush now. Nanjiang's catacombs are about to open. When that time comes, entering for the first time will be dangerous, but also an opportunity. I'll strive to break through rank 5 or even rank 6. I believe your senior will become a grandmaster soon. Then I'll go look for the instructor. The young girl pursed her lips and lowered her head. My dad, it's too dangerous. Don't go. He might. Wang Jinyang smiled and murmured, no matter what, I have to go and see, even if. Both of them fell into silence. Wang Jinyang's thoughts also drifted far away. The catacombs door was sealed. The Tianen catacombs army was sweeping everywhere, and the grandmasters had retreated. Was the instructor still there? Perhaps, but what if he was still there? Perhaps the instructor was currently being hunted by countless people and needed his help. If he gave up now, would he not be harming the instructor's life for nothing? Nanjiang's catacombs. Wang Jinyang exhaled softly. Danger also meant opportunity. The first time entering the catacombs, the rewards would not be small. Sun City. Fong Mingrong had been promoted again. Somehow, he was transferred from the Ministry of Education to the municipal government as the deputy director of the municipal government office. They were all deputy directors, but they were not on the same level. Fong Mingrong was speechless. Faced with countless people's congratulations, he could not describe how he felt. My son escaped from a rank 6 powerhouse in a life-and-death battle. Others see glory, but he only sees danger. A rank 3 against a rank 6. What are they facing? Fong Mingrong was extremely puzzled. This doubt was also echoing in many people's minds. Why did such a battle result appear? Qin Fengqing killed an upper stage rank 4 in the midst of a 10,000 army. Was this 10,000 army an exaggeration? Was it just a figment of the imagination? Fong Ping escaped from a rank 6 powerhouse. Why would a rank 6 be chasing after him? Sino Nation still had a legal system. A rank 6 was chasing after a rank 3 martial artist. Did he really think those powerhouses were useless? Who's their enemy? Where is it? Who are they fighting with exactly? A foreign force or an unknown force? Why did they send a group of low-ranked martial artists to fight with middle-ranked martial artists? Sino Nation is so powerful. They have so many grandmasters. Where are the grandmasters? Questions arose in everyone's minds. On the internet, countless people were discussing it. What were Sino Nation's martial artists hiding? On the internet, some news gradually spread. Evil sect, martial artists, not the catacombs, but evil sect martial artists. A group of martial artists whose goal was to destroy the world and destroy mankind. Many people were extremely shocked. Many people only just found out that there was actually a group of evil sect martial artists active in Sino Nation. For a moment, evil sect martial artists became the target of everyone's hatred. When Fong Ping saw these news, he knew that Sino Nation was guiding public opinion. First, they threw out the idea of evil sect martial artists so that the people would have a target to vent their anger on. Gradually, they would also accept that the world of martial artists was not peaceful. They were protecting mankind, protecting everyone, and fighting against evil sect martial artists. Joining a martial arts university meant that they would have to fight against these people. It was not like what everyone imagined. Martial arts university students were just a privileged class. On the 2nd of July, the catacombs passageway opened. The first batch of human corpses that died in battle were transported out. McMao. The main gate opened. The national flag and the school flag at the gate were lowered slowly. Salute! Chun Zhenhua's old eyes were filled with tears. He roared. The instructors and students behind him saluted one after another. Outside the school gate, many people had gathered. Magic City's business martial artists, political martial artists, military martial artists, civilian martial artists, these people did not enter the school. Outside the school, many people bowed and saluted, tears streaming down their faces. Some of them had graduated from MCMU. They had worked hard for 60 years. MCMU students were all over the world. 60 years of protection had finally come to an end today. Their golden bodies were shattered. Not even their bones remained. None of the human powerhouses had a good ending. Who was the hero? Only this generation. Not for immortality, not to bully the weak, not to monopolize power. Dare to fight. Fight to the death. Never be afraid to fight. Not only martial artists, but also the soldiers who quietly guarded the catacombs. These people were the true heroes. In the southern area, the instructors' corpses were buried one by one. The students' corpses began to be cremated too. Some people did not even have a corpse. They died in the catacombs and were buried in the catacombs, leaving behind only an insignificant name that no one would remember after a few years. Even the old vice-chancellor only had a cenotaph. In the southern area, some strangers came. Fong Ping actually recognized many of them. In the past, he might have approached them and tried to get close to them. Right now, however, he was not in the mood. He stood in front of the tombstone, dazed. He was not the only one who was dazed. Many people were even more dazed. A rank 8 golden body could die just like that. What about them? Would they be left with nothing but a pile of dirt in the near future? On the afternoon of the 2nd of July, Fong Ping and a group of students started running around to be the mourners. Some could not accept it. Some broke down and lost their voices. Some were grief-stricken. Some were speechless looking at this scene. Fong Ping muttered in his heart, "I don't want someone to bring my ashes back to my family one day. I can only become stronger. Stronger. So strong that no one can kill me. I don't want my parents to cry in despair. I don't want my sister's eyes to be filled with hatred. In the past, I lacked motivation. Now I don't lack it." After leaving the last house, Fong Ping's mind was clear. He had a clear goal. Become stronger. I, Fong Ping, am here. I am invincible in rank 3, rank 4, all the way to rank 9. One day, I will be so strong that no one can kill me. No one can kill me. Only I can kill. One day, everyone's hatred will come to an end. There will be an end. On this day, Fong Ping drove back to Sun City. Chapter 261. It was July, and the weather was scorching hot. When he got out of the car, there were no uncles or aunties in the neighborhood. It was not the time for them to come out and chat on such a hot day. A small city like Sun City was as peaceful as ever. Martial artists, cults, the catacombs, these things had nothing to do with the residents, unless their children were preparing for the martial sciences exams. Click. Fong Yuan was talking to someone on the phone in the living room when he opened the door. When she saw Fong Ping, she said hurriedly, "My brother's back. You guys handle it yourselves. I'm hanging up now." She had the demeanor of a big boss. Her "handle it yourselves" showed the demeanor of a boss of 3,000 people. Fong Ping's lips curled up. "My home is here. Family, country, and the world. In my heart, family comes before country. Be it selfishness or self-interest, it all comes from different perspectives. Brother." Fong Yuan hung up. She was elated at first, but her expression turned serious. "Fong Ping, how dare you come back?" Fong Ping put down his backpack and put aside the Chongdao that he could not keep. He stretched out his hands and smiled. "Come, pinch my face. Your brother can't even satisfy this little bit of enjoyment." "No way." Fong Yuan refused. Did she not care about her pride? Only at home. If she pinched her face outside, how could she be the big sister? "You still dare to refuse?" Fong Ping laughed. He moved his feet and appeared in front of Fong Yuan. He pinched her cheeks with both hands and started pulling them apart. Fong Ping. Fong Yuan was furious. Her face was pulled apart again. Fong Ping pulled her cheeks up and down like he was playing with plasticine. Satisfied, he let go of Fong Yuan and leaned back on the sofa lazily. "You're on vacation?" "Yes." Fong Yuan was still sulking. She got a small mirror from somewhere and looked at her cheeks. She felt sad when she saw her flushed cheeks. Fong Ping was too much. "Have you achieved firm stance in your stance?" "No." Fong Ping frowned and scolded. "It's been a year. I started teaching you last June. You've been standing for a year. How have you been practicing?" Fong Yuan pouted and explained, "Almost there. Just a little bit more. I'll be there soon." Fong Ping glared at her and said, "Have you cultivated your basic combat techniques?" "Yes, I did. Last time, I broke a sandbag with one kick. It was amazing." Fong Yuan was a little smug. Fong Ping was speechless. What was there to be smug about? Without another word, he tossed a bottle of vitality pills to Fong Yuan and said again, "Cultivate well and become a martial artist as soon as possible." He was so poor that he was practically penniless. He had to borrow credits to buy these pills. They were only a few dozen credits, so he did not care about them at all. Fong Yuan did not look at the pill. She suddenly thought of something and asked hurriedly, "Fong Ping, where have you been these past few days?" "Doing quests." "What mission?" "Why do you care so much?" "But you killed someone again." Fong Yuan pouted. "You even met a rank 6 martial artist. You're only a freshman. Why did you go on such a dangerous mission?" "Of course, geniuses are different. You don't understand. Your brother might become a rank 4 martial artist soon. Do you think I'm the same as others?" Fong Ping boasted and smiled. "Don't worry, it's not dangerous. Although I said I met a rank 6 martial artist, I have a rank 6 martial artist with me too. Otherwise, why would I be talking to you here? Girl, cultivate well. There will be more missions like this in the future. This time, it's considered a short one. It's only 10 days. Next time, it might be a month, 3 months, half a year. I'm not home, so you don't have to worry about me. Take good care of Mom and Dad. Don't cause trouble for them." Fong Yuan nodded and did not say anything. The siblings chatted for a while before Li Yueying came back from grocery shopping. Li Yueying's eyes reddened when she saw Fong Ping. She put down the groceries and went forward to search Fong Ping's body. Fong Ping laughed and said helplessly, "Mom, what are you doing?" Li Yueying did not say anything. When she pulled up his sleeve and saw the puncture wounds on Fong Ping's left arm, she suddenly sobbed. It had only been a few days since Fong Ping's left arm had been punctured multiple times. Although the wounds had healed, the scars did not disappear so easily. Fong Yuan saw it too. She went forward to pull off Fong Ping's shirt. Fong Ping quickly pushed her away. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. "What are you guys doing?" "I'm a martial artist. It's normal for martial artists to have some scars on their bodies. Which martial artist doesn't have a few scars on their body? Don't make a fuss." "Mom, don't cry. Those who don't know better might think that something happened to me." "You bastard." Li Yueying gave Fong Ping a good beating. As she hit him, she sobbed, "Why are you still on the ranking list? Why are you fighting a rank 6? You're not the only martial artist. Why are you showing off? Why didn't Director Tan and the others go? How old are you? Why did you go? Your dad kept it from me. Did he really think that I didn't know anything? When I went out, everyone was talking about how Sun City has a powerhouse, a rank 3 fighting a rank 6. You're so capable. You're so capable. Have you ever thought about what if something happened? What would happen to me and your dad?" Fong Ping grinned cheekily. "Mom, I'm fine, aren't I? Besides, Director Tan is nothing. He's only rank 1. How old is he? Your son is almost rank 4. How can we be the same? In a few years, when your son graduates, forget about Sun City's commander. He can even be Nanjiang's governor. How can we be the same? When that time comes, you'll be the grand governor. In Nanjiang, you can do whatever you want. So what if I'm the governor? Can a governor make a living? The governor still eats that much in one meal. Li Yueying did not buy it. She said angrily, "Next time, you're not allowed to fight with others." Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. Did she think that normal people fought? However, in Li Yueying's eyes, she probably did not realize how big the difference between a rank 3 and a rank 6 was. In the vast Sun City, the only rank 3 martial artist that was known was by Jin Shan. People like Li Yueying had never seen a rank 3 martial artist fight in their entire lives. Regarding her son becoming a rank 3 martial artist, she only had this concept. How strong a rank 3 martial artist was, how strong a rank 6 was, they were probably all blank. As for the murder, Li Yueying did not mention it. She was panicking, but she was more afraid that her son would panic. She was afraid that mentioning it in front of her son would bring up bad memories. In her eyes, her son was a good child, a refined person, and a good student. If he was not forced, her son would not kill. The government had also said that those were evil sect martial artists. People from evil sects were naturally bad people. Fong Ping did not mind being lectured by his mother. However, Fong Yuan also lectured him with her hands on her hips. Fong Ping did not say anything. He pinched her still red cheeks and continued to pull. This girl was out of control. Who gave her the confidence to teach her brother a lesson? Fong Yuan's eyes were filled with tears. Fong Ping, this bastard, was too much. At night, in the gym, Fong Yuan practiced a set of basic boxing techniques. Fong Ping gave a few pointers. He thought for a while and said, "Next time, don't cultivate combat techniques in front of outsiders. Don't tell anyone what level you've cultivated it to. Keep a low profile. Your brother is high profile, so you have to keep a low profile. In front of outsiders, it's good to be a little spoiled brat. If you meet a bad guy, don't be soft-hearted. If you can kill him, don't hold back. There are more evil sect martial artists in Nanjiang these days. Be smart." Nanjiang was about to open the catacombs. Although they had been surrounded and killed a large number of evil sect martial artists, it did not mean that there were no more of them now. Now, these people were scattered and active in Nanjiang. The old grandmaster who was in charge of MCMU's southern area was also staying in Nanjiang to eliminate the remaining evil sect members. Fong Ping and the others were famous now and had a certain social status, but it also meant that they were in greater danger. They were fine if they were alone, but they were afraid that something would happen to their families. Martial arts university students were also the main force in eliminating the evil sect members. Fong Ping had killed the peak rank 3 grand missionary before, so it was possible that news had spread. Although the battle record would not reveal information about the opponent killed, if these evil sect members did not find Fong Ping, they would be in danger if they found their families. Evil sect, martial artists. Fong Yuan was not afraid. Instead, she said angrily, "If I meet them, I'll kill them." Right now, the news outside was saying that the martial artist Fong Ping and the others killed were all evil sect members. In the eyes of the little girl, if those people dared to bully her big brother, she would kill them if she met them. Fong Ping smacked her head and said exasperatedly, "You're so weak. Don't even think about it. If you meet them, they'll kill you with one slap." As he said that, Fong Ping suddenly kicked the dumbbell on the ground into the air. He caught it and squeezed it with all his might. With a crunch, the iron rod in the middle was snapped in half by Fong Ping's grip. Fong Yuan's mouth fell open, her face full of shock. "Did you see that?" Fong Ping tossed the broken dumbbell aside and laughed. "Don't think that just because you know some lousy combat techniques, you're good. A real martial artist can break metal and stone with ease. With your strength, you won't even be able to withstand a slap from them. Do you want to use your big face to block it? That's why when you meet a real martial artist, escaping is the first task. Cultivate your pole standing to the firm stance as soon as possible and focus on basic leg techniques so that you can fight and run. Fong Yuan immediately nodded. She nodded very quickly. How scary! It was iron, and her brother had broken it in an instant. She was not as strong as iron. Seeing that the girl had memorized it, Fong Ping continued with a smile, "You're going to be a high school student soon. I heard that Sun City No. 1 High School will start a professional martial arts training class this year. Once you're in the class, learn from the teacher. I don't have the time to explain the basics of martial arts to you bit by bit." The notice hasn't come yet. Before Fong Yuan could finish, Fong Ping said disapprovingly, "I'm just telling you that the notice will come sooner or later." Fong Ping's sister was in Sun City. If she could not even get into a martial arts training class in Sun City, that would be looking down on him. Fong Ping did not even have to go through the front door. Fong Yuan's cultural studies were not bad, and her vitality was not weak either. How could she not get in? Fong Ping was not in a hurry to leave this time. He stayed at home for a few days. He taught his sister combat techniques, familiarized himself with the Vajra punch, and chatted with his mother. Halfway through, he met up with Wu Zhihao and the others who had just returned home. He received a lot of envious looks and was forced to drink. Wu Zhihao, Yang Jian, and the others were also preparing to break through as martial artists after the summer break. Although they were not twice honed, they felt that they had reached their limit and could no longer suppress it. During that time, they briefly talked about the expansion of distance, but it would have to wait until the next semester, so they did not say much. On the 10th of July, Fong Ping put on his backpack, grabbed his Changdao, and drove to River City. Old Wang had asked him to call him when he got back, but Fong Ping did not bother to call him now. It just so happened that he was going to head north along River City. It was not that he wanted to copy Old Wang's route. The point was that there were more powerhouses in the north than in the south. There was CCMU, SNMAU, and SCMU in the north. If he went south, he would have to return to MCMAU. Fong Ping could not imitate Wang Jinyang and block MCMAU's entrance. Moreover, there were a few big sects in the north that had powerhouses too. This time, he wanted to challenge peak rank 3 powerhouses as well as sect powerhouses. Fong Ping was looking forward to it. River City. Fong Ping called Wang Jinyang when he reached River City. Both of them met at NMAU. When he saw Fong Ping, Wang Jinyang took a few more glances and suddenly asked, "Do you want to spar?" Fong Ping shook his head. "No, not now." Right now, his aura had not reached its peak, and his combat techniques had not been cultivated to a high level. Even if Wang Jinyang used rank 3 strength to fight him, he would not have a chance of winning without using his vitality advantage. When he returned from this challenge, he might win, but he would only win against the rank 3 Wang Jinyang. Wang Jinyang had always been his target, but Fong Ping did not do it to defeat him when he suppressed his strength. When he entered rank 4 or rank 5, he would be at the same rank and level as Wang Jinyang. Wang Jinyang would then be his target. Fong Ping smiled as he walked. The spar will happen sooner or later. In MCMU, there's still a mission for you. The credits are not low. A long time ago, I thought that I would get these credits. In the blink of an eye, almost a year has passed. Since I've waited for a year, I don't mind waiting for another year. Wang Jinyang clasped his hands behind his back and smiled faintly. "Seems like you're very confident that you'll surpass me soon. Martial artists should have at least this bit of confidence. Didn't you tell me that martial artists must fight? It's necessary to fight. Then I'll wait for you." Wang Jinyang smiled and said, "I'm just afraid that you won't be able to catch up." "I will. Brother Wang, don't slack off. Ever since I started learning martial arts, you're the one who had the biggest impact on my martial arts. You're the first person I've come into contact with, and you're also the first person of my age that I find it difficult to surpass. I've slowly left the others behind. On the path of martial arts, I still need a benchmark like Brother Wang to stimulate me. Very arrogant, but you, who have achieved rank 3 in a year, have the right to be a little arrogant. Wang Jinyang chuckled. Since you see me as your target, then continue to work hard. On the path of martial arts, it's because there are people like us that it's more exciting. Wang Jinyang said that Fang Ping was arrogant, but he was not weak himself. Both of them laughed. After a while, Wang Jinyang returned to the topic at hand. I'm looking for you this time to check on your progress. Although we haven't fought, it seems like you're doing well. Secondly, I want to remind you to hurry up. If everything goes smoothly, the Nanjiang catacombs will open at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. The opening of the catacombs for the first time is dangerous, but it's also an opportunity. The other catacombs have been open for many years. Actually, the good stuff in the periphery has already been collected by human martial artists. You didn't find anything good in the Magic City catacombs, did you? You didn't see any valuable herbs, animals, or plants that are worth killing, did you? The Magic City catacombs have been open for decades. Even a useful blade of grass in the periphery has been uprooted by humans. The newly opened catacombs won't be like that. However, the newly opened catacombs are also the most dangerous places. You don't know if you'll meet a high-ranked martial artist in the next moment. So if you want to reap the benefits, you need to be strong. In the outside world, it's very difficult for us to rely on ourselves to advance. The higher the rank, the harder it is to advance. As for the other catacombs, you have to go deeper, deeper, deeper into places that no one has gone before to reap the benefits. The new entrance, that's completely different. Fang Ping's expression gradually turned serious. He asked, it's confirmed that Nanjiang's catacombs are going to open soon. What's the specific location? It's hard to tell for now, but it'll be soon. Actually, when the catacombs entrance opens, you can feel it. When the passageway opens and the energy passageway is successfully built, it will gradually release a large amount of energy particles. Right now, we're investigating. Where the energy particles are increasing in intensity, there's a high chance that the catacombs entrance will open. In fact, you didn't realize that the overall energy particles in Nanjiang are slightly more active now. This is also an important basis for determining that the catacombs entrance is in Nanjiang. The construction of the energy passageway isn't something that can be done overnight. I hope it's not in Sun City. Fang Ping sighed softly. Wang Jinyang said nonchalantly, it's the same wherever it is. The catacombs entrances are increasing. If it's not in Sun City today, maybe another entrance will be opened in Sun City tomorrow. That's true. This time, you're going all the way north to prepare for a breakthrough to rank 4? Uh-huh. Have you chosen your opponent? I've decided Yunmeng Military School will be the first one. Wang Jinyang glanced at him. After a while, he said, there are many powerhouses in military schools. None of the 3 big military schools is weaker than the famous schools. Moreover, martial artists from military schools have more opportunities to participate in the catacombs battles. Don't fail at the first one. It's okay to fail. I'm not afraid of failure. It's enough that I've discovered my own shortcomings. Then, I wish you a safe journey. As he said that, Wang Jinyang added, you can go to military schools and martial arts universities alone. If you go to the sects, it's best if an MCMU instructor goes with you. Fang Ping frowned slightly. Wang Jinyang explained, it's not that they'll harm you, but the sects, martial arts universities, and military schools are 2 different systems. You might not even be able to enter. Moreover, in the sects, there are also a group of conservative martial artists. If you bully them, they'll feel that it's the greatest humiliation. There might even be a few radical martial artists. I understand. It's okay. Actually, even if I didn't remind you, if you really went, MCMU would probably send someone to help. Fang Ping smiled bitterly. That might not be the case. Most of MCMU's instructors were not in school now. It seemed like he could only ask Old Man Lee to hold the fort when the time came. The two of them chatted for a while. On NMU's campus, some people saw them. However, after recognizing Fong Ping, the passers-by's expression did not look too good. Although it was not good, Fong Ping was ranked third in the Rank 3 Martial Arts University Combat Strength ranking. In NMU, no one was a match for him, except for this student, Wang Jinyang. Fong Ping did not care about the others. He met Gu Xiong on the way, and the two of them chatted for a while. Chapter 262. Beihu Province, Yunmeng Swamp. When the car entered Beihu, Fong Ping suddenly mumbled, "Is it really appropriate to choose Beihu as the first stop?" He gently caressed the crescent moon's saber beside him. Guan Yu II had died in battle here. However, the place where Guan Yu II had died was still some distance away from Yunmeng Military School. "I'm not Guan Yu II. It has nothing to do with me. There are many people who use sabers." Fong Ping exhaled and drove forward until the car arrived outside Yunmeng Military School. Although Yunmeng Military School was not well known in the outside world, it was one of the 3 big military schools in the military department. If it was considered a martial arts university, it would have a very high status among martial arts universities, comparable to the Big Two. Of course, it was only comparable. Although there were many powerhouses in military schools, there were fewer grandmaster-level powerhouses than the Big Two. After getting off the car, Fong Ping was not in a hurry to challenge. He walked to the gate of Yunmeng Military School. The school was much smaller than MCMEU and much simpler. The only ones who felt a little imposing were the soldiers standing guard outside with guns. This was one of the advantages of military schools. In the eyes of ordinary people, they looked more dignified. This was something that martial arts universities could not compare to. Most people would not be able to recognize martial artists. Fong Ping walked to the front of the sentry box, looked around, and said, "Hello, comrade. Can I have a look at the school?" The soldier on duty said meticulously, "Non-military school students are not allowed in. If you need to find someone, you can register at the sentry box. We will send someone to pass the message for you." "Then please help me find someone." Fong Ping thought for a while and suddenly scratched his head. Was it appropriate for him to find someone like this? If he found someone and they came out, he would tell them that he was here to challenge them? That was not dignified at all. After some thought, Fong Ping said suddenly, "Forget it. I'll come back later." Fong Ping strode away, taking out his phone to call Wang Jinyang as he walked. "Brother Wang, how should I go about this challenge?" Wang Jinyang was stunned for a moment. After a while, he said, "It's up to you. If you want to challenge Yunmeng Military Academy formally, you should submit your letter of challenge to Yunmeng Military Academy according to the rules of the martial arts world and wait for their arrangement. However, this method might be very slow. The military school might need to communicate with MCMEU before making a decision. And considering some circumstances, the challenge might be rejected. If you want to proceed quickly, it's very simple. You carry your saber and stand at the gate of the military academy and shout, 'There's no one in Yunmeng Military Academy. Do you dare to fight?' There's a high chance that a fight will break out very quickly." Fong Ping laughed dryly. "So barbaric? You're so barbaric. Otherwise, why would I accept your challenge? If you wanted to break through and accumulate momentum, they might not think the same way. If you wanted to achieve the reputation of being invincible among rank 3 martial artists, the military school martial artists might not want that. They had to keep a lower profile. So, I think you should go with the second plan. It's simple, and it won't take up too much time. Moreover, I won't be perfunctory or fooling you. I'll definitely fight as hard as I can. That's the only way to challenge you. Otherwise, the formal challenge arrangement might fool you. Do you understand?" "Is that so?" Fong Ping muttered, "I understand." After thanking him, Fong Ping hung up. He turned his head to look at Yunmeng Military School and took a deep breath. Fine, let's do it savagely then. If he really wanted to wait for the review, who knew how many days the process would take? He had a lot of plans this summer. No wonder Old Man Lee had said that blocking the gate was fine. Blocking the gate of a martial arts university and a military school was the greatest humiliation. Their powerhouses would never shy away from a fight. Even if they thought it was not worth it, they would not avoid it. Looks like I'm the same as Old Wang. I'll be hated by everyone in the future. Yunmeng Military School, the strongest rank 3 martial artist, ranked 14th in the national rank 3 ranking, 5 places lower than me, but he's also very strong. My goal for this trip is to break through to peak rank 3 first, then accumulate momentum for rank 4. In that case, it's best if I don't use my Yanuadeo. After thinking things through, Fong Ping saw that it was getting late. He did not choose to challenge today. He would find a place to rest for the night and adjust his condition. Soon, Fong Ping drove away. July 11th, early in the morning. In front of Yunmeng Military School's gate, Fong Ping held his saber and stood proudly, saying loudly, Magic City Martial Arts University freshman Fong Ping is here to challenge Yunmeng rank 3 students. No one will be rejected. Please advise me. Magic City Martial Arts University freshman Fong Ping, his voice reverberated in the school, inside Yunmeng Military School. Suddenly, someone said angrily, Do you really think that Yunmeng has no one? You've gone too far. Every year, you use Yunmeng Military School as a target to show off your power. Every year, people come to challenge you. Beat this bastard to death. The angry roar was very loud. Fong Ping, who was at the school gate, suddenly felt that something was wrong. This anger was exceptionally strong. Did people come to challenge him every year? Thinking about it, it did not seem wrong. Fong Ping was not the only one who wanted to accumulate momentum. In the next moment, more than 10 young people in military singlets gathered at the school gate. There were both men and women. Their eyes were extremely unfriendly. One of them shouted, Fong Ping, how dare you block Yunmeng's gate? Do you think that there's no one in Yunmeng? Fong Ping did not waver. He said lightly, No one in the lower 3 ranks can defeat Yunmeng. Fight or hide. Yunmeng decides for itself. Bastard, I'll fight you. In the next moment, a tall man in military uniform walked out of the school. His vitality was turbulent, and his body was full of killing intent. With a sullen expression, he said, Yunmeng Military School junior student. Yao Zhengyu? Fong Ping looked at him and said calmly, You're too weak. Are you sure you want to fight? Cut the crap. As soon as Yao Zhengyu's voice fell, his military boots stomped on the ground. In the next moment, he clenched his fists and smashed them toward Fong Ping's head. Fong Ping held the saber in his right hand, but he did not move. His left hand formed a seal, and with a roar, his left fist punched out. Boom! With a loud explosion, Yao Zhengyu, who had just closed in on Fong Ping, was hit by the punch. He flew backward and rolled on the ground. Those below upper stage rank 3 are no match for my punch. Don't embarrass yourself. Fong Ping shouted. Is there no one in Yunmeng? Yao Zhengyu, who had fallen to the ground, was flushed. A few people behind him hurried forward to help him up. One of them shouted, Wait a moment. We're just normal students in Yunmeng. Yao Zhengyu is only representing himself. Yao Zhengyu had been defeated in one move. Yunmeng had lost some face. These people were not upper stage rank 3 martial artists. If they went up, it would be Yunmeng who lost face. There was no need to wait any longer. Soon, another group of people walked out of the school. There were men and women, but they were no longer young people. Some of them were middle-aged martial artists. They were obviously military school instructors. These people were all wearing military uniforms, but their expressions were cold and indifferent. The middle-aged martial artist, who was the leader, glanced at Fong Ping and said, The challenge can be carried out according to the rules. Fong Ping, you've blocked Yiming's school gate. You should be prepared for the consequences of your actions. Of course, I'm invincible in rank 3. I have no fear. All right. The middle-aged martial artist did not say anything else. He turned around and shouted, "Zhu Wenlong, you fight him. You can only win." In the crowd, a young man with a dark complexion walked out, holding a long spear in his hand. As he walked out of the school gate, the young man said coldly, "Zhu Wenlong, peak rank 3 martial artist." Fong Ping frowned and said calmly, "You're ranked 46th on the rank 3 ranking list. You're not the strongest among Yiming's rank 3. Are you sure you want to fight? Do you dare?" Fong Ping suddenly threw his Changdao. It stabbed into the ground and did not move an inch. "Fine. After I defeat you, I'll fight the strongest rank 3 in Yunmeng." Before he finished speaking, Fong Ping stomped on the ground. The cement floor cracked instantly. Zhu Wenlong saw him throw his Changdao. Anger flashed in his eyes. Did he really think that Fong Ping was invincible among rank 3? The moment Fong Ping stomped on the ground, Zhu Wenlong's spear whistled. The spear pierced through the air, and the sound of the explosion echoed for dozens of meters. Fong Ping's fists glowed with blood-red vitality. He did not dodge. With a roar, he punched the spearhead with his right fist. Bang! A loud sound of metal colliding was heard. Zhu Wenlong's spear trembled. In the next second, Fong Ping was already in front of Zhu Wenlong. His left fist glowed with blood-red light as he punched at Zhu Wenlong's throat. Zhu Wenlong was not afraid at all. He shouted coldly and pulled his spear back, sweeping it at Fong Ping's waist instead of stabbing. Fong Ping did not even look. His Vajra fist could not be returned. How could he avoid it? Ha! A roar came from his mouth, and his fist speed increased by 30%. Zhu Wenlong raised his left elbow, blocking while continuing to sweep Fong Ping with his spear. Neither of them dodged or retreated. They were determined to meet force with force. 2 dull thuds were heard. Fong Ping's fist landed on Zhu Wenlong's left arm, and his other hand hammered Zhu Wenlong's spear again. Zhu Wenlong stomped on the ground and retreated a few steps, cracking the ground. Wenlong's vitality isn't as strong as his, and his physique is weaker too. He's no match for him in a head-on fight. At this moment, the middle-aged man in military uniform who had spoken earlier shook his head slightly and explained, "This MCMU kid's vitality has exceeded 1,000 calories." The expressions of the people behind him changed slightly. The middle-aged man in military uniform continued, "His bone and physical strength are also stronger than the average peak rank 3 martial artist. Look at the hardness of his fists, combined with the vitality outburst. Even C-grade alloy is slightly deformed by his hammering." As he spoke, the middle-aged man in military uniform continued, "However, his Vajra punch has not been cultivated to perfection. Otherwise, Wenlong wouldn't have simply retreated with 1 punch. He might have suffered internal injuries. Although he's not weak among the rank 3 martial artists, he can't compare to Qin Zhouang." As he spoke, a tall boy behind him had been watching Fong Ping and Wenlong's fight. After hearing what was said, he said in a low voice, "I heard that Fong Ping is an expert in manic explosion. Now that he's given up on his saber and switched to his fists, I'm afraid he's thinking of practicing his fists. He wants to achieve unity in his fists and step into peak rank 3. The people around him nodded. The middle-aged man in military uniform shook his head. "It's not that simple. I see that his Vajra punch is overflowing with power. I'm afraid he's just a beginner. If he doesn't use a saber, he might not be Wenlong's match." The crowd did not speak anymore because the situation had changed. "You want to beat me with your fists? Do you really think you're invincible?" Zhu Wenlong was knocked back by Fong Ping's punch, but he was not injured at all. His spear was like a dragon, piercing forward. The The spear seemed to have come to life, circling around Fong Ping's neck like a dragon snake. Fong Ping's fists moved quickly, hammering away at the spear, but he could not gain much of an advantage. My vitality isn't condensed enough. My fist strength isn't clear enough either. Otherwise, I could have used Vajra Punch to convulse his internal organs and injure him severely. Unity in fists, Fong Ping's mentality attached to his fists, capturing the flow of vitality and condensing it. After a while, Fong Ping's expression changed abruptly. He attached his mentality to Zhu Wenlong's long spear. This peak rank 3 martial artist had managed to achieve unity of fist force, or rather, unity of vigor. When the long spear stabbed out, the force was perfect. Fong Ping quickly observed the flow of his opponent's vitality and the distribution of his energy particles. He could not observe this unless he was fighting. His opponent was too strong and did not give Fong Ping a chance to observe. Right now, however, Zhu Wenlong's strength was equal to his, so Fong Ping could observe him clearly. His fists were still hammering away. At first, Zhu Wenlong was able to block it easily, but soon his expression changed. The strength of Fong Ping's fists was not much different from before, but the force that had spilled out earlier was gradually condensing, and the power of each punch was greater. Ha! Zhu Wenlong roared again. He wielded the spear with both arms in a dazzling manner. Some martial artists below upper stage rank 3 could not even see his next move clearly. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was finding it increasingly difficult to block. His forehead was drenched in sweat. Outside, a student frowned. Is this the standard of a martial arts university's number 3? Fong Ping was number 3 in the martial arts university ranking and number 9 in the overall ranking. Zhu Wenlong was not in the martial arts university ranking, so he was number 46 in the overall ranking. Logically speaking, there was still a gap between him and the top 10. Right now, it seemed like Zhu Wenlong had the upper hand. Fong Ping was only relying on his stronger physique to hold on. The power of his combat techniques was not that great. With this standard, he dares to say that he's invincible among rank 3. There's really no one left in martial arts universities. You can't say that. It can only be said that Fong Ping is useless. Don't forget, the martial artists who ranked high in martial arts universities were all powerhouses. As soon as he said that, everyone nodded. This was not the first time that Yunmeng Military School had been challenged. As one of the 3 big military schools, it was a good choice to train. In the past few years, martial arts university students from other military schools, and disciples from sects had come. There were very few who were impressive. Fong Ping. Now, it seemed like the top 50 in the overall ranking was the best he could do. He was still far from the top 10. At this time, as the 2 of them continued fighting, their vitality was greatly depleted. Fong Ping's vitality was overflowing, so his consumption was greater than Zhu Wenlong's. His advantage in vitality was gradually being offset. However, Fong Ping was not surprised. Now, he was constantly using his mentality to probe Zhu Wenlong's method of exerting force and the distribution of energy. Gradually, he gained something. I see. Is this the control of power? Fong Ping mumbled. The blood-red glow on his fists was diminishing. Outsiders would only think that his vitality was being depleted so much that he could not even maintain his vitality force. However, the middle-aged martial artist and the others in the military uniform had a strange look in their eyes. MCMU's Fong Ping was really a genius. He had begun to control his energy during the battle, unlike before when he used his vitality force recklessly. Genius martial artist, the middle-aged man in the military uniform sighed. There were indeed many geniuses in martial arts universities. There were also many geniuses in military schools, but most of them had to rely on repeated battles and killings to learn these things. Fong Ping had begun to open the path to peak rank 3 just by sparring. Wenlong is going to lose," the middle-aged man in the military uniform said. In the next moment, in front of him, Fong Ping's fists had completely returned to their normal color. However, the moment they collided with Zhu Wenlong's spear, a powerful blood-red glow exploded. After this punch, Zhu Wenlong's spear trembled violently. The web between his thumb and forefinger, which was holding the spear, ruptured instantly. Fresh blood stained the spear. Fong Ping did not attack him. Instead, he seized the opportunity. His fists rotated and quickly hammered the spear. Zhu Wenlong retreated continuously, but he could not avoid Fong Ping. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 punches had landed. Zhu Wenlong's hands loosened abruptly, and the spear fell to the ground. At this moment, his arms were still trembling, and blood was dripping from the web between his thumb and forefinger. Fong Ping's face was pale, but he did not pursue. He smiled and said, "You've lost." Zhu Wenlong's tan face was slightly flushed. After a moment, he picked up the spear and said in a muffled voice, "Next time, when I'm killing enemies in the catacombs, let me witness your might. I won't let you down." Fong Ping smiled very happily. He did not use his vitality advantage. His vitality of 1,200 calories and above was his original advantage. This was not one of them. Relying on Vajra Punch, analyzing Zhu Wenlong's method of collective energy, and the advantage of bone marrow honing, he had beaten the peak rank 3 Zhu Wenlong until he dropped his weapon. This also proved that Zhu Wenlong was no match for him. However, Fong Ping had a rough idea of the method of collective energy. He was also learning it, but he had not reached the stage where he could use it flexibly. This also meant that he had not entered peak rank 3 yet. Zhu Wenlong was not too disappointed. He picked up the spear, turned around, and retreated. At this moment, the next person stepped forward. Yunmeng Military School, Chen Jiawang. Chapter 263. Do you know Chen Jiaxing from Donglin Martial Arts University? Fong Ping asked as he looked at the tall young man opposite him. Chen Jiawang was very tall, and he was also holding a gun. In the military academy, the weapons they used were more of a unified standard, which made it easier for them to coordinate with each other in team battles. Hearing this, Chen Jiawang shook his head lightly and said, "I don't know him, but I know him. Old Grandmaster Chen is also a role model for our generation of martial artists. MCMU's Grandmasters, especially Vice-Chancellor Zhang, is also a role model for us to learn from. This is how martial artists should be." Fong Ping nodded as well. These Grandmaster powerhouses, including the martial artists and soldiers who died in the catacombs, are all role models for our generation. He did not mention role models. Fong Ping did not want to die in battle, but those people were indeed heroes among men. Without asking further, Fong Ping's vitality was fully restored in the blink of an eye. Chen Jiawang frowned slightly, and the instructors behind him were also surprised. MCMU's Fong Ping was indeed capable. Chen Jiawang was not in a hurry. He asked, "No saber? There's no need for that. I want to consolidate my fist force and break through to peak rank 3. So, I'm your trial stone? I'm sorry, but that's what I think. It doesn't matter. I've also used people as practice stones. However, you blocked the gate of my Yunmeng Military Academy. I won't go easy on you in this battle." This is also what I hope to see. The two of them stopped talking, and there was no referee. At the end of the conversation, Chen Jiawang's blood and qi on his spear were condensed to the extreme. And so was his speed. Fong Ping had wanted to use the same method he had used on Zhu Wenlong to deal with him, but when he saw the vitality force on the long spear, his expression changed, and he retreated quickly. Just because he was tough didn't mean he was stupid. Just as he retreated, Chen Jiawang's spear tip appeared in front of his chest. Fong Ping's waist bent backward instantly, and he lifted his leg to kick. Chen Jiawang's arm moved, and the tip of the spear quivered. It changed from a stab to a slap, hitting Fong Ping's chest with a smack. Pooh! Blood spurted out of Fong Ping's mouth, but he managed to kick the long spear away. He was injured in one move. Some people from the Yunmeng Military Academy looked happy. Zhu Wenlong, who was ranked 46th in the overall ranking, had just been defeated. Everyone was still a little sad and worried. Of the three military academies, Yunmeng Military Academy was the weakest. However, no matter how weak they were still one of the three great military academies. No one would feel comfortable being a stepping stone for others year after year. Zhu Wenlong had been defeated, and there were still two people ranked higher than him. However, one of them was ranked 37th, and his strength was similar to Zhu Wenlong's. The strongest was still Chen Jiawang, ranked 14th. Everyone was worried that Chen Jiawang would be defeated, but now Chen Jiawang had injured Fong Ping with one move. Naturally, they were overjoyed. Fong Ping's expression was solemn. He did not care about these minor injuries. He just didn't expect Chen Jiawang to be stronger than he had imagined. His speed was extremely fast, and his spear technique was also seamless, making it almost impossible to find any flaws. This is the kind of pressure I want. Fong Ping growled in his heart. In the next second, Fong Ping straightened his back and attacked Chen Jiawang's throat. Chen Jiawang did not block. He moved his feet and retreated a few steps, the long spear once again appearing at Fong Ping's chest. Fong Ping no longer swung his fists. His fists turned into palms, and he slapped the spear's shaft repeatedly. After 5 consecutive hits, the long spear deviated from his chest and pierced the air. Although Fong Ping used his hands to perform 5 consecutive slashes, he did not have much vitality outburst. Right now, what he needed to learn was to conserve his vitality so that he could defeat his opponent without using ultimate moves. He did not want to use every move to outburst, which would deplete his 1,000 calories vitality in just a few hits. Similarly, other martial artists did the same, unless it was a one-on-one battle, and it was a critical moment to kill. Ultimate moves were rarely used in battle. Although Chen Jiawang's long spear had been slapped away and Fong Ping was close at hand, he was still calm. He swung his left fist and exchanged more than 10 blows with Fong Ping. Using the force, Chen Jiawang retreated again. His long spear was used to the point of perfection, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared outside of Fong Ping's throat. Fong Ping was slightly flustered. He leaped higher and stepped into the air. He struck a few palms from above, and only then did he block his opponent's killer move. Fong Ping is no match for Jiawang. Inside the school, the middle-aged man in military uniform waved his hand, gesturing for the crowd to retreat and make way for the two of them. He said softly, "Fong Ping's time in combat techniques is not as long as Jiawang's. It's almost impossible for him to defeat Jiawang purely by relying on his physical strength and powerful vitality. Of course, if he keeps using ultimate moves to suppress Jiawang, he won't be a match for Fong Ping unless Jiawang can kill him in one hit. I don't think so. I think he's here to accumulate strength. I think the MCMU instructors have told him that if he only relies on vitality to suppress Jiawang, it won't help him improve his combat techniques and control his strength. Then the challenge will be meaningless," another instructor retorted. If Fong Ping really wanted to use his unlimited vitality to suppress Chen Jiawang, then what was the point of challenging him? It would not help him improve at all. If it was not to show off and prove that he had a lot of vitality, then Fong Ping would be wasting his time doing this. As they were talking, someone suddenly said, "There's still no explanation for his vitality. What's going on?" The middle-aged man in military uniform said softly, "It's said that his bone marrow has turned jade-like, which is caused by the mutation of his mentality. It allows him to capture energy particles at this stage and speed up the recovery of vitality in his bone marrow. Of course, we don't know the specifics. This is the answer given by MCMAU. Most of the MCMU instructors are fighting in the catacombs now, and Vice Chancellor Zhang has just perished together with a rank 8 enemy. Don't ask anymore. Understand? Everyone nodded quickly. If they were to ask again and dwell on this, they would be bullying MCMAU for having no one. If it was not for Fong Ping's provocation now, no one would dare to step in if the high grandmasters of MCMU returned and attacked them for an explanation. The old vice chancellor had just killed a rank 8 and died in battle. Now, a genius student was being looked for. If they did not look for trouble, they would not be able to survive in MCMAU. While the instructors of Yunmeng Military School were discussing, Fong Ping was caught off guard and stabbed in the chest by Chun Jiawang. Fong Ping took a few steps back, causing the ground, which was already broken to begin with, to collapse completely. Puffed. Fong Ping spat out another mouthful of blood. His gaze was extremely solemn. Chun Jiawang was really strong. Fong Ping's combat techniques were slightly slower than his. Prediction collective energy. Chun Jiawang was almost at the same level as Qin Fengqing, but Fong Ping was much weaker than them. I have to use Vajra Fist to fight him. His opponent's physique and vitality were not as strong as his. As long as his Vajra Fist was collective, Chun Jiawang would not be his match. When he thought of this, Fong Ping stopped retreating. He swung his fist quickly and punched the spearhead. Bang! The sound had just faded when the next one was heard. Chun Jiawang was not in a hurry. He kept waving his spear, stabbing, sweeping, stabbing, and picking. The students around him were all impressed. This was the strongest rank 3 powerhouse in Yunmeng. Fong Ping, the martial artist ranked 3rd on the Martial Arts University Combat Strength ranking, could only take a beating now. His clothes were already torn, and his body was covered in wounds. Chun Jiawang, on the other hand, was almost unharmed. I'm not using big moves. I'm so aggrieved. Fong Ping punched the spear again, but his heart was full of grievance. But I keep using big moves. Maybe I'll never be able to reach peak rank 3. If he could not master collective energy, he might be stuck at upper stage rank 3 forever. This was something Fong Ping could not accept unless his physique and vitality were strong enough to break through to middle rank with his physique. But that was not what Fong Ping wanted. Collective energy is also a manifestation of the combination of essence, spirit, and soul. I shouldn't use my mentality to probe anymore. Instead, I should use my body and mind as one to explode and experience. His mind was full of thoughts. In the next moment, Fong Ping suddenly roared. His left hand reached toward the void and grasped the air. At this time, Chun Jiawang's spearhead seemed to have voluntarily come to him, and Fong Ping grabbed it. Then, Fong Ping took the opportunity to close in. His right fist and Chun Jiawang's left fist exchanged more than 10 blows. This time, Fong Ping did not retreat. Neither did Chun Jiawang. Fong Ping held his spear. Unless he abandoned it, Chun Jiawang did not think he needed to do so. Both of them continued to exchange blows, sparks flying everywhere. Some students below upper stage rank 3 watched with shining eyes. Fong Ping and the others' bodies were really forged like alloys. Unity of Vajra. Fong Ping roared. The area around his fists seemed to explode. There was no sound, but the shockwave spread in all directions. Chun Jiawang did not make a sound. When Fong Ping attacked, Chun Jiawang punched back. Bang. There was a loud bang. Chun Jiawang took 3 steps back, but Fong Ping took 7 or 8 steps back. He staggered and almost fell. You're still a little lacking. You've barely grasped the basics of collective energy, but compared to me, you're still a long way off. Chun Jiawang finally opened his mouth after fighting for so long. Fong Ping panted and said in a low voice, I'm a little lacking, but that doesn't mean I can't defeat you. Then you can try. Chun Jiawang suddenly stabbed his spear into the ground and shouted coldly, "I'll let you see what a Vajra punch is." Chun Jiawang's face was full of anger. He roared and stomped his feet hard on the ground. The cement floor around him cracked and caved in again. In the blink of an eye, Chun Jiawang appeared in front of Fong Ping, his fists moving quickly. Fong Ping's eyes were also full of anger. His fists hammered continuously. Bang, bang, bang. A series of bangs were heard. The sound of metal colliding became louder and more frequent. More than 10 seconds later, a figure flew out. In midair, Fong Ping stepped on the air, wiped the corner of his mouth, and rushed back to his original spot. This guy's really tough. The middle-aged man in military uniform sighed when he saw Fong Ping flying after being hit by Chun Jiawang and then charging in with his injuries. Zhu Wenlong, who was still recovering, exhaled and said, "His physique is very strong. Chun Jiawang can't really hurt him." In terms of physical strength and bone strength, this guy seems to be stronger than us. Maybe the mercury-like bone marrow is true. The middle-aged man in military uniform was only a beginner rank 6. It was difficult for him to determine whether Fong Ping's bone marrow was really mercury-like. However, judging from Fong Ping's physique and the destructive power when he stepped on the ground after losing control of his strength, MCMU might be telling the truth. This kid's bone marrow was really mercury-like, just like NMAU's Wang Jinyang. What's going on in Nanjiang? No, what's going on in Sun City? Can it really make people's bone marrow mutate? The middle-aged man thought for a while and felt that it was necessary to investigate. Maybe he could really take in a few students with bone marrow mutations. Bang! Fong Ping was sent flying again, but he gritted his teeth and continued charging. Just a little more, just a little more. My collective strength is still lacking. My strength is not condensed enough. Otherwise, Chun Jiawang would not be my opponent. With this thought in mind, Fong Ping was sent flying 7 to 8 times in a row. His body was covered in blood, but he still continued to fight. Soon, everyone realized that the battle between the two could be seen clearly. Chun Jiawang's face was pale, and so was Fong Ping. There were no vitality fluctuations in the battle, but a pure physical collision. In the next moment, someone was sent flying again. This time, it was not Fong Ping. Chun Jiawang spat out a mouthful of blood. His expression was a little ugly. He did not say a word and continued charging. This time, Chun Jiawang was sent flying again at a very fast speed. Fong Ping roared, "Is there no one in Yunmeng? All rank 3s. Come at me together. A bunch of trash." Chun Jiawang's expression alternated between black and white. The others were also red with anger. "You've been sent flying more than 10 times, and we didn't even look down on you. Now you're even provoking us." On the side, an instructor humphed. "His vitality has been depleted. Chun Jiawang is not as strong as him in terms of physical strength. This kid is getting arrogant." "No, he's trying to provoke us into attacking him together. He has a reason to recover his vitality and continue using his combat techniques. He's about to break through. Should we fulfill his wish?" A few of the instructors were not too happy about it. This kid was very arrogant, and he was not from their school. Now that the battle had reached this stage, if Yunmeng did not continue to send rank 3s to pressure him, could he still rely on himself to hone his combat techniques? The middle-aged man in military uniform pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he said, "Those who are upper stage, rank 3s, and above, go up. As long as you don't kill him, you can beat him up however you want." As soon as he said that, the students looked at each other. Then 4 or 5 people suddenly rushed out. They had wanted to beat this bastard up for a long time. The moment they rushed out, Fong Ping's eyes lit up. His vitality had suddenly recovered. Then, the vitality fluctuations on his fists were obvious. With one punch, he sent an upper stage rank 3 girl flying. The girl flew out and fell to the ground. She clutched her chest and said in grief and indignation, "MCMU Fong Ping, you're really shameless. I've long heard that you specialize in hitting women's chests. Kill him." This time, the boys were provoked. "How many girls in our military school are there? It's bad enough that you, Fong Ping, beat up girls in MCMU, but you came here to beat up girls. This is unforgivable." The few upper stage and peak martial artists were not weak either. Peak martial artists could achieve collective vitality and besiege Fong Ping. Fong Ping could not care less about what was in front of him. Although he had knocked some people out of the battle circle, there were also people who hit him until he swayed. Although Chun Jiawang's vitality had been depleted, his physique was not weak. Chun Jiawang was extremely annoyed that his vitality had been depleted by Fong Ping. At this moment, he did not retreat. While Fong Ping was sending someone flying, he took the opportunity to punch the right side of Fong Ping's face. The head was a fatal injury for those below Grandmaster level. However, he did not use vitality force. Fong Ping was also an upper stage rank 3 martial artist who had modified his body, so it was not that easy to kill him. As expected, Fong Ping only cried out in pain. It was not a big deal, but the right side of his face suddenly swelled up. "Don't hit the face when you hit people. You've angered me," Fong Ping roared. Suddenly, a blood-red glow flashed on his fist. In the blink of an eye, Fong Ping had sent an upper stage rank 3 martial artist in front of him flying. The martial artist spat out blood in midair. Collective fist force. The martial artist in midair roared. Then he said angrily, "Don't replenish your vitality if you have the guts. Kill him." "I didn't plan to replenish my vitality in the first place. Come on, let's see who kills who." Go all out." Fong Ping had just finished shouting when the middle-aged man in military uniform suddenly roared again. More than 10 martial artists who had not reached upper stage rank 3 beside him rushed in instantly. "Do you have any shame? What kind of hero is ganging up on me?" Fong Ping roared angrily. Everyone's faces darkened. "Didn't you say to attack together just now? Now that we've satisfied your wish, you're looking for trouble." No one paid attention to him. These people did not care if Fong Ping's punch landed on them or if they were injured. They suppressed their anger and rushed forward to either hit his face or kick his crotch. Even Zhu Wenlong, whose vitality had not fully replenished, rushed forward quickly. This kid's arrogance had no limits. "I'm peak rank 3 now." Among the crowd, Fong Ping roared. His Vajra fist had also exploded with great power. Martial artists below upper stage rank 3 were killed with 1 punch. His attacks were 100% accurate. If they were hit, they would be sent flying, no longer able to fight. However, there were too many people. He could only focus on one side but not the other. Soon, Fong Ping's entire face was swollen. After fighting for 7 to 8 minutes, Fong Ping sent Yao Zhengyu flying with his last punch. He straightened his back and panted. "I won." The middle-aged man in military uniform frowned slightly. He said mildly, "There are still more than 30 rank 3 martial artists in the school who have yet to arrive." Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He said sheepishly, "Then I'll fight after I replenish my vitality." "What's the point of that? Don't you want to train yourself?" "I'm peak rank 3 now. I've achieved collective fist force." Humph. The middle-aged man in military uniform could not help but let out a humph. He looked at the rank 3 martial artists who had been beaten up by Fong Ping and frowned. During the battle, Fong Ping's collective fist force had depleted Chun Jiawang's vitality. No one was a match for him after that. In a situation where Fong Ping had not replenished his vitality for a second time, he had defeated everyone with his strong physique. It had to be said that Yunmeng Military School had indeed embarrassed themselves this time. Moreover, Fong Ping had achieved collective fist force now. Even if Chun Jiawang had replenished his vitality, he might not be a match for him. After sweeping a glance at Fong Ping, the middle-aged man in military uniform humphed. Get lost. If anyone from MCMU dares to come to Yunmeng again, we won't show any mercy. Fong Ping laughed dryly. He did not say anything. He walked to the side, pulled out his Chongdao, and walked out. The middle-aged man in military uniform said that he had shown mercy, but that was an exaggeration. However, it had indeed helped Fong Ping in the end. At that time, both Chun Jiaowang and he had depleted their vitality. The two of them had fought hand to hand, which did not help much with collective fist force. Yunmeng Military School's encirclement had also created an opportunity for Fong Ping. After he had replenished his vitality and used his combat technique, Fong Ping had seized the opportunity to complete collective fist force. Because of that, Fong Ping did not want to embarrass the other party. If he said that he had shown mercy, then that was it. After all, he was not coming. It was none of Fong Ping's business who would come next from MCMU. Fong Ping could not be bothered to care if they were beaten up by these infuriated Yunmeng students. I'm peak rank 3 now. After leaving Yunmeng Military School for a few hundred meters, Fong Ping suddenly laughed. His first stop had accomplished half of his goal. Next, with the strength of peak rank 3, it would be easier for him to challenge the martial artists who were ranked higher. After all, Chun Jiaowang was only ranked 14th, apart from Fong Ping. The others in the top 10 were not to be trifled with. Just as Fong Ping was feeling proud of himself, a passerby, a small child, suddenly leaned against his mother and whispered, "Mommy, pighead." The child's mother glanced at Fong Ping. Seeing the saber in his hand, her face showed fear. She hurriedly picked up the child and ran back. Fong Ping was stunned. He raised his Chongdao and looked at it with the reflection of the blade. He suddenly humphed, "Yunmeng Military School. I'll come back when I'm rank 4. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.